We've got a quarterfinal here. Winning team moves on to the semis tomorrow to face France. Had a nice little cat break in between this here on the stream, which is good stuff. And similarly to the other game we saw in the previous series, we've got a lot of players ending up in very similar areas here. And then 2 players on the other side. Yo, guys, this is crazy. So for Vietnam, they've got Say My Name over here, super far away from everyone. They've got Bad Boy over here, super far away from everyone. And then you've got Hope, pretty close by to, you know, the rest of the gang. And then you got, who's the other one I'm missing here? It should be ACCM. ACCM! ACCM is surrounded by Argentinians here, which could be good or could be bad. For Argentina, we've got Nikov, Gurjaras. We've got Lucky, Berbers. Lucho, Saracens. And then down here, we've got Kapoch playing as the Huns. So you could look at it 2 different ways, this whole setup. You could look at this and say this is great for Vietnam because they have 2 players that will probably take no damage whatsoever. You could also say this is horrible for Vietnam because the other 2 players are surrounded. It really just does depend on how things play out. You could argue that Argentina are not going to take losses because they are all together and they can support each other. We'll see. Now, I was going to do something here. I needed to adjust something. Oh, I think I needed to add this image back. That image needs to be on screen per the rules. And I swear there was something else I needed to do here, chat. I needed to show you something, talk about something, but it hasn't come to mind. Oh, Hope. Hope it needs his name changed. I would have Hope playing as the Magyars. Go for heavy scouts because you're surrounded by the enemies, right? And just try and get as much damage as you can on as many players as possible. So that game plan, I think, is pretty clear. But, like, yeah, I guess we'll see. You think of the civs that are on the other side here for Vietnam. They're pretty good booming civilizations. The Vietnamese and the Hindustanis. But can you just boom up without supporting the teammates elsewhere? Kind of a tough ask. Now, I like the fact that Vietnam picked Vietnam for their civilizations. I think that knowing exactly where the enemy TC spots is very important here. The ACCM will be able to know exactly who is next to him and where they're located. But I also think that the Huns, a really nice choice here for the Argentinians. We've talked about this horse that they have and how helpful it is in finding resources. The Huns have always been picked on Land Nomad and African Clearing. I think Huns are probably less noteworthy on any standard Nomad where there's water. But since it's all land, having that horse gives you a really big lead there. Lucho signaling out some of his walls here. So he's going to plan some walls this way. And maybe that's their plan. Maybe they just wall out the red player so the red player can't go scouts there. But we'll see. Someone says it still says China, Russia, FYI. Title of the stream could be changed by mod. Or maybe it has been changed and you guys just haven't updated it yet. You guys might, like, viewers might need to refresh if it hasn't been changed. If there's no mods that could do it, I could do it in between. But I could tell Trance Music is really, like, he knows clearly that it's just a title issue. And he's really bothered by the fact it hasn't been updated yet. So thank you in advance, mods. But yeah, I think it has to be Fast Castle for Huns. It's just super easy to do. So that should be maybe Fast Castle Cav Archers for Kapoch. Ooh, we've got a Boar race. And Nikov is going to de-aggro that. He de-aggroes it. Oh, but then the hit comes in from ACCM anyways. ACCM going to snag that final Boar. He really needed that Boar too. That extra little bit of meat is super important for him. Thank you, mods. Thank you, chat, for the reminder. Guys, what do you suggest in Nikov's position here? That you're kind of walled out from hitting ACCM. You're not really going to be the first target for Hope. So I think you could go Fast Castle. But Fast Castle what as Gurjaras? Fast Castle Scouts, Shrivamshas maybe? I think what you could also do You know what I would really like here? I would actually like to see Fast Castle Camel Archers from Lucho, and Lucho castle drop one of these players that's close by. Like, if he could drop a castle on ACCM, that would be really good. That's how you take advantage of the fact that you've got two people surrounded. Drop a castle on one of their faces. And there's no better civ to do that with than the Berbers here. Yeah, wall him in, keep him trapped, and then castle drop him could be a really good method here. The red player is named Hope. Like, everyone refers to him as Hope, but he has a long Vietnamese name, so that's why I changed his name to Hope. It's pretty much what everyone calls him. I don't know what his actual name there translates into in Vietnamese, but everyone knows him as Hope. Also much easier for me to say. We have Feudal Age on the way for Bad Boy, so he might go Scouts, though it could still be Fast Castle. It's honestly Land Nomad timings. There's not something I have fully memorized. 21 Vils feels a little earlier than I was expecting, though, but maybe he had a really good start. ACCM going for some crazy walls. He's going to take golds here. And then there's stone around, hunt around. But I foresee a castle on his face at some point in time. I would be very surprised if that does not happen. It just feels like the invitation is too strong. It makes so much sense to try it. Hope will be dropping the stable, and Hope will be dropping the stable for Scouts. Now, you know what I'm curious on, guys? So, a lot of people are curious on these positions, right? Usually, players are just going to TC in between the two closest vills they have. And so, this is now the second generation where I've seen TCs like this, where, like, they're all clumped up on one side. I think it's a map script thing. Because no one's going to compromise delaying their TCs to build it, like, over here, for example. And I remember before USA played the qualifiers, I had mentioned a couple things about the map script because sometimes villager spawns would be really crazy. I don't know if they ever made any adjustments, so I think part of the positioning here is just down to where the villagers spawn. And if you've got, you know, all your villas close by, you're going to TC right away, and that's probably what happened to everybody. Nikov's going to tower rush and apply pressure to ACCM. And then we've got Lucky fast castling behind it, and he's going to stone. Yeah, this is huge, guys. This is huge. Like, ACCM is going to be completely cooked here. He has to defend from a tower rush, and then also contend with a castle on his face soon. So bad for him. Unless he can get to a castle faster. Unless he could drop a castle on Nikov or something. Why didn't MBL and Viper play T90? They didn't sign up. MBL said because they didn't have third and fourth players. I think, obviously, they could probably find some people from Norway to play, but there's no one that's really at a competitive level. Like, I can't think of a single Norwegian that's above 2K beyond those two. So they probably wouldn't have qualified for the main event. I do think it would have been interesting, though, because, like, Viper, obviously, and MBL really good in the 1v1s. They could maybe coordinate in the 2v2s. Keller's very good. I don't know if Keller's very active right now. He might be 2K. Kongen, the other one that you're mentioning, is from Denmark. And Denmark actually has a pretty solid overall team of like 4 people. Like a 4v4 of Denmark versus Norway, I think Denmark might actually win. Denmark have, if they all played together, they have really good players. Tower rush from Hope to push Capwatch off of gold. But I mean, Capwatch could just fall back to this gold. And he can still go Cav Archers. He'll be in Castle Age in 30 seconds. And so he backs away from his gold. Scouts actually make it through from Nikov. And they're going to break through here. Oh, that's interesting. So Lucky's like, well, if you've got scouts through, why not help me break through this wall? And did Nikov... Oh my god, Nikov built a sneak stable in the back. Oh my god, he killed a bunch of vills too. Holy. I was like, how did he get through? I assumed he missed a hole. He actually had a sneak stable, killed 3 vills there, guys. And now Nikov is going to open the door here for Argentina, and there's going to be a castle on ACCM. Dude. Man, life sucks if you're ACCM right now. Holy dude. Okay, we won't see it. But Petard from Lucky to deny Castle Age entirely from ACCM could be sick. You won't see it because you're already going to have such a lead. Meanwhile, you've got a Castle from Say My Name, Booming from Say My Name, Booming from Bad Boy. But their teammates are all dying. So that's what I find so interesting about this, right? It's like, it can be good. We've seen situations where it's very good to have 2 players amongst 4 if they harass. But Hope has tried to harass and hasn't done the damage he would have wanted. And then ACCM has tried the fast castle, and ACCM, he has problems. Guys, is ACCM going to be defeated here? I think he's going to be defeated. I don't think he has villagers anywhere else. He's running. He's trying to escape. He's completely walled off. If he goes this way, he goes into scouts. All right, so these vills get chased down. Ha! Don't let him escape. He's building a town center to try and survive. The man that normally refuses to die is going to have to do so in a more unique situation here. He's got a tower and camel archers on his TC. His other villagers will go down, barring a crazy quick wall, but this TC stays up at least. So ACCM is just going to, he's just going to chill there and try to stay alive. Capwatch has Cav archers out. Those Cav archers are going to move over to Hope, and Hope has no answer there. So this has to be crazy play from Say My Name and crazy play from Bad Boy. But honestly, if there was a civilization that could full boom and bring it back 1v2 or 1v3, it would probably be the Hindustanis. Capwatch is making camels. Or, sorry, he's making Cav archers, which could die to camels. Camel archer could die to camels. Saracens, like right now we don't have any army at all from Lucho, so maybe he could make his own camels. Maybe it's doable. Nikov's gonna have some issue with the rats and archers here. This isn't an easy situation for him to be in either. I'm just saying, there's an actual chance here. So ACCM just has to think about escaping. He's trying to break free right now. It is prison break time for ACCM. He's at 12 ills, and he's not going to get any more because he has no food eco. So yeah, this is this is ACCM's escape route, and Vietnam will not let him escape. Or not Vietnam, I'm sorry, Argentina. This is funny. Can you sling? Would it make sense to sling ACCM some stone for a tower here? You could send resources to someone in the same age. If you just give him 100 stone, he could make a tower, and it's a better chance that he holds. A castle would be pretty crazy. Speaking of crazy, Hope continues to produce scouts here. Full scout production in Feudal Age. But Capwatch is booming on 3 town centers. Like, Capwatch has had a great game. We have yet to see much from Lucho, but Lucho's still full boom. And Nikov and Lucky, they did what they needed to do. They fully surrounded ACCM. You just cannot let ACCM escape now. This is hilarious. Guys, this is one of those things, like, if Nikov and ACCM make it to a LAN event together, this is the type of thing players talk about at the bar together. Like, the Shisha nights, when, you know, we're all gathered around, just, you know, hanging out. Players love to bring these moments up. Margugu's here right now. Margugu can't wait to bring this up the next time he sees ACCM in person. ACCM? No, it's like someone makes a joke about Margugu, because that's basically what everyone does. Love you, Margugu. And then Margugu will be like, at least I didn't get defeated in Nations Cup. Look at him trying to escape. He's trying to escape with 2 vills every now and then. But everywhere he goes, he sees something from the enemy. He's making monks now. Okay. Dude, guys, hope situation is not good. It's not giving Vietnam hope. He still isn't clicked up. He does have so many scouts, but, like, he can't really do much with them against town centers. I actually think he needs to bring the scouts this way. And maybe he could create an escape path for ACCM. ACCM might be defeated. Bad Boy on the way to Imperial Age! Now, if this was just a regular ranked team game, there'd be a bunch of people annoyed with each other, and we might have the guy in player 6 position do the classic resign and say, player 4 noob, right? You've seen that before, right? Oh, God, the escapees. The escapees! They're not gonna make it! They're not gonna make it! No! But, like, this is a team thing, right? It's a team game, and ACCM's not butthurt about it because he understands the situation here. Now, the situation is very bad for him, guys, because he's got 7 vills and a monk, and that's it. He tried a great escape. It didn't work out. Capoch pushed down here. Oh, no, and now the monk has gone down. Oh, no! He's got 7 vills! Soon no TC! Okay, now, the clickbaiter in me wants ACCM to be defeated, and then I want to see Argentina still lose the game. Like, Imperial Camel from Bad Boy can absolutely shred Capuch. It's crazy how fast that could happen. So it's doable. Oh, wait. Oh, this Vill escaped, but it's being chased. Oh, he's trying to quick wall. I don't think it's going to happen, guys. Is ACCM about to be defeated? He has no wood. No wood left to repair his town center. He's running away with this Vill. Split up. Say my name, just send ACCM wood so he can repair more. This villager dies. This villager dies. ACCM is down to 5 vills. Now, it won't defeat him if he has the monastery. Technically, he could still be in the game. Big scout attack from Hope. Hope kills Lucho, denies his castle. But ACCM is down to 4 vills. 2 are attacking the mangonel. The others are going to die. ACCM is about to be out of the game. So the team captain from Vietnam has been killed off here in game 1. And there's the Vill. And now the monastery will go down. ACCM will be defeated. He will be defeated. Unless he could somehow make a monk. He has no other working population anywhere else. Or buildings. Oh, the market. I think the market keeps you in the game too. Because technically you could produce from it. I'm not entirely sure though. Because you can't produce any military. Rats and archers are looking great for Say My Name. He's got 30 of them. That's a strong unit. You also have the camels, soon to be heavy camel here for Bad Boy, guys. I'm just saying, there's a chance. I think they need Capoch to brace himself, and they need Lucho to come into this game with some camels. I'll keep an eye on if ACCM actually gets defeated, but obviously we have to focus elsewhere. Big raids on Capoch incoming. Like, Capoch doesn't have his Cav Archers all here right now. He has some of his Cav Archers raiding, but he's getting raided big time. So he'll take some losses. And still waiting for the Imperial Camel click for Bad Boy. In fact, I'm really surprised he didn't go immediately for that. Hope, you've got to keep your vills alive here. You really have to stay on it. Because you can't be killed off as well now. You need to find the garrisons here, Hope. I think he's too busy reacting to the raids. The rats and archers are just not something camel archers could deal with very well on their own. And these rats and archers have weaved their way through all of Lucky's eco. And we'll get into the back of Lucho's eco as well. Now, there are mangonels coming from Nikov. So maybe these get killed off. But some nice raids from Vietnam. Say My Name is also about to be an imp. And ACCM, let's see if he gets defeated here. He's not defeated yet. I think the market's the only thing that keeps him alive. Guys, Capoch he had like 95 vills at one point and no idle time. He's down to 80 vills and had a lot of idle time. Things got really nasty there for him. But Hope took some pretty big losses as well. So it still is just say my name and Bad Boy versus the world here for Vietnam. And oh, the Rats and Archers! They're trapped. There's a market from Lucho to try and hold this position. Let's see how the micro is for these Ratans. They're about to get imp upgrades. This would be huge. This would be huge. You got to keep these units alive here. Say my name. Say my name. Oh, geez. And Nikov with the attack rounds as well. Perfectly played from Nikov. It's actually a lot harder than it looks. The first shot was easy enough. The second shot wasn't. And the repairs even from Lucky to help out Nikov's Mangonel to put an end to this. Well played. They didn't put a full end to it. And you've also got Camels here from Bad Boy. Have cleared out Capwatch's TC. Capwatch is like... he's in full panic mode. But the castle at least is something. And so with ACCM pretty much out of the game. The hope now for Vietnam is they can hold with 4 players alive. That's a lot of Camels from Lucho. You're hoping now that the Saracen Camels with 170 HP can hold against Imp Camel. Imp Camel is now in for Bad Boy, though. And they could now focus a lot of their pressure onto Lucky, onto Nikov. Like, honestly, it's kind of Lucho as the only player who could fight back against these Camels. And Rats and Archers can kill those Camels as well. Rats and Archers are really strong. What a crazy game here. They will obviously clear this up. That's a lot of support here from Argentina. But I think that pretty soon the Berber player and the Gurjara player could be out of the game. If they just get Trebs and Rams with this army and steamroll right through the middle, they could still do this, Vietnam. And this isn't just me exaggerating, you know, trying to act as though this isn't over when ACCM is essentially out of the game. No, ACCM can be defeated. They don't need him. They don't need him at all. They need his positivity in the voice chat. That's all he can do. That's the meta right now. It's just say positive things. Hope is still in it. Hope getting some raids in. Obviously, Lucha right now doesn't want to worry about a couple light cav, but he has to pay attention to that. These Rats and Archers and these Imperial Camels cannot be stopped right now. There is not enough army to deal with this threat. And you're going to start to see the score get closer for the teams. And oh, no! Say my name gets destroyed. That's not good for Vietnam. Beautiful job there from Lucky. Gets another attack rounds, but the Imp Camels are still going to be through. The Imp Camels will still destroy. It doesn't matter. This is a Castle Age player making Camel Archers. He's not going to have many castles anymore. He's not going to have Eco anymore. There's still going to be more Ratans coming in all the time. And we got Nikov on the way to Imp. Nikov is imping in one of his TCs. I don't even know which. He'll probably make it. But I still don't know what army he's going to make. And ACCM was defeated. ACCM just lost his market. ACCM officially defeated. We knew it would happen. But he's officially out of the game now. Capotch is kind of back in it. There hasn't been a lot of focus on him in a while. He's got really nice eco. I think Heavy Cav Archer in Imp could be really good. But he needs to make it there. And I think probably Halb as well. So Argentina can get up to 800 population as a team. And Vietnam can only get up to 600 population as a team. Because they only have 3 players now. And the craziness continues. I think they need to get this pressure. From what I can see, they need to get this pressure over on Nikov. That's actually Nikov's Imp TC. He'll keep that alive. Nikov is going to explode eventually with army. But I don't know if there's an army type that he could really focus on to get excited about with the Gurjaras. I'm guessing it's going to be the Shrivamsha Rider. This is a lot to do right now if you're Bad Boy and say my name, because you're essentially doing it on your own. But I guess you do want to try and keep hope Honestly, I'm telling Hope, dude, bring Vills and build TCs around my base. Don't boom here anymore. That's the best thing for Hope. Is just not be near any of this. He needs to get out of here. Otherwise, he's going to end up like ACCM. Does Nikov have the economy with only 100 Vills to make enough army to deal with what's out there? It's 60 camels. It's 60 elite rats and archers. I'm not so sure. Lucho will continue to wipe up Hope. Hope is in castle. There's no hope for him against this. Bad boy kind of got... You got to try and keep him alive. You don't want to be the guy that let 2 people get defeated in a game. But you also should be trying to defeat Gray. Because Gray is no answer to you right now. And Nikov might have no answer to you right now. Like, would you... Okay, honest question. Is it worth it for Vietnam to let Hope get defeated if they can defeat Nikov and defeat Lucky? Then it's two defeated players on each team. And then you probably win the 2v2. So yeah, it's fine to get rid of Hope. And Lucho's fighting on both sides right now, which you could tell because he slightly mismicroed that. Castle goes down for Lucky. And dude, just imagine the pressure, guys. Imagine the pressure. You've defeated ACCM, Vietnam's best player, and they're still pushing you. That would add a lot of pressure for me and a lot of worry. You're expected to win when someone gets defeated like that. Capuch needs to be in MP's 10 seconds away. He'll be there soon. He'll be a big threat. Cav archers will still struggle against him, Camel, but if you get a lot of Cav archers, they'll at least be doing more than they have been. And the upgrades are going to fly in. Nikov has a little push starting here. It's a little push. It's literally one elephant. So it's just a threat that Nikov may end up pushing in some way against Say My Name. Gray's got 60 Vills, and he's kind of wedged into the corner, hoping he can survive. But the pressure is expanding now into Nikov's base. And Nikov, he's going to die as well. Like, the Trebs just continue to unpack. His villagers, his TCs, his buildings are all getting destroyed. Lucho and Capoch are going to come over here now and try and deal with this together. But the losses have been significant already. And Vietnam have the score lead. Look at the scores. Vietnam actually have the score lead right now. And they figured they've done enough against Nikov for now. They can come over here and address Lucho and Capoch. Oh my goodness. Also, Hope is not out of the game. Hope's at 113 Vills with the Magyars. And Hope will be in Imp soon. We'll see if Hope will have a position to actually make a lot of army right now. It's his Rats and Archer Imp Camel combination that's been so strong. But there's 70 camels for Lucho. My issue with the camels now is it struggles against the Ratans. That's the difference. Is the type of archer that Argentina have had has been a Cav archer. So camels are still good against it. I even worry for map control. Like, eventually Argentina just run out of gold, right? They're not going to have the amount of map to take gold. And Vietnam can see everything. Also, great job from Say My Name. He built outposts, so he knows about the other resources there and if the enemies have moved there. Forget score lead. Vietnam have the population lead right now. And Capoch seems to have no answer to the camels every time it arrives. There's no answer to the Rats and Archers here. And we are about to see Vietnam win a game with their best player defeated. And to this I say, this is just Nomad things, dude. In Nomad, crazy things can happen where this just kind of makes sense. Lucho's going to use his 50 tanky camels to surround. He'll lose a lot of camels. He'll lose his castle. Can he kill the Ratans, though? Feels like he's maybe going to. There are Trebs from Nikov here. He's doing what he can. If he can take the castles out, he will have taken out multiple. It will stall the Rats and Archer production. But now we have Rams. We have Skirms. We've got Halbs. all pushing in towards Capotch because Hope actually can make an army now. But, ooh, a nice clear up here for Lucho. The Rats and Archers for Say My Name. They're going to be a bit of an issue now. Ooh. Well, let's think about this, right? He also, I think, got raided by Shravamshas. Oh, Nikov with the raids! Nikov with the raids! That's huge. Okay, so that needs to be dealt with. And now there's these 3 castles on the front to produce Ratons. But this one's probably going to go down. We'll see. I think Bad Boy's going to go try and snipe those. The Capotch just needs to hold. No, Nikov. He's nothing. He has no army. He can't do anything about that. He just has the couple Shravamshas raiding right now. And they're going to kill trade and whatnot, which we're seeing Vietnam start to invest into. Meanwhile, Imp Camels are just taking out Lucho's castle, because why not? And Imp Camels could get into the back of Gray's eco. But Gray's going to be Imp. Dang, this game is nuts. Bad Boy and Say My Name have genuinely had really good games, though. They played amazing. Also impressed with Hope because it looked rough at times. But he seems to be in the groove now. He seems to be back in business. Imp Camels versus Saracen Camels. I always preferring the Imp Camel. They attack faster and they have a little bit less HP, I guess. They also have the extra attack. But Saracen Camels, the only camels that could maybe compete. Capotch has held his side. Hasn't been fully pushed, but he's just... They're struggling for map control. I really think they're going to struggle to take gold. Just keep an eye on the amount that these players have on gold. Lucho's got 0 on gold. Actually, Say My Name has 0 on gold. Is that right? No, I looked at the wrong one. He's got 30 on gold. Okay. A lot of the issues for Say My Name right now, I think, go back to the fact that his castles are getting taken out. But he does still have these 2 castles here. His other castles are very far back at home. And Nikov's just staying in. Like, he doesn't have the greatest position, but the Shravamshas have 16 kills. He's been moving around, using the mobility there. Oh, man, Bad Boy got some camels into Lucho's eco. Lucho doesn't notice this. He has no gold as well, so whatever camels he has, when he loses them, he's not going to get more. Can't easily defend right now. Imperial Skirm here from Hope. That's a team bonus, right? Anyone can get Imperial Skirm on the team. If you're teamed with Vietnamese, that could deal with these Cav Archers. And while Argentina continue to hold, while they have 4 players, all in the Imperial Age, they are still dying to the 3 others from Vietnam without ACCM. Dude, ACCM probably loves his team so much right now. Can you imagine the momentum swing from this? Imagine how embarrassing this might feel for Argentina. How gut-wrenching it is. Because they knew. The second ACCM was in that position, they knew. They just had to hold. They had to brace themselves. Now, it was never going to be easy. This was a genuine possibility. You knew that Bad Boy and Say My Name would have the free boom. But regret could start to seep in if they lose this game. Guys, I'm starting to see issues for everyone on Argentina that I wasn't necessarily seeing before. Like Capotch, I'm starting to see an issue with map control. He was okay for a while. Lucho, I'm starting to see an eco issue now. He's low on eco. He doesn't have golds. Nikov has a higher army count, but I think his annoyance is going to start to mean that people are going to pressure him now. And like Lucky, I don't really know what to suggest that he makes because he's completely surrounded, but maybe like, I think you really need elite Camel Archer, but you can't go back in time and get your castles back. And Vietnam can trade. Vietnam should realistically stonewall everywhere. Just stonewall all the choke points on the map, just like they did here. So their trade can never be hit. A trade is obviously a huge deal for long-term gold once the gold runs out. I don't know, like, Argentina are nowhere at that point, nowhere near the point where they're going to give up, especially when they can find raids like this. This is the way back. You raid, and then you trade. That's kind of your thinking process right here. Get the markets down, use whatever golds you can, get the trade out, Nikov also has... oh, that stable doesn't matter. Never mind. But, like... They're gonna lose a player here soon if they don't get better army out here. Does Nikov not have wheelbarrow? I mean, he might not, but, like, let's not act like wheelbarrow is really a deciding factor in this game. You know? Let's not pick on poor Nikov about wheelbarrow right now. Okay, there's bigger problems. That's nothing to do with an equal upgrade missing. It's just been the crazy army coming in from Bad Boy, Say My Name, and Hope. And now I think Lucky's gonna die. Like, Lucky's got all of his eco crammed into this corner. He won't be able to escape, really. And he's gonna meet the same fate that ACCM meets, or met, if they can't stop this. Nikov can't fully support this. He's getting pushed here from Say My Name as well, which is crazy. And then Capoch and Lucho are both trying to combat Hope. So Hope is 1v2. And again, what a great job. Now, I still like what Lucho's doing. Lucho is being a pain with these light cap and raiding and getting kills. But you can't raid your way back from this position. You need to kill off the Imp Camels and the Ratans. I don't know if they can do it. Nikov continuing to get pushed. He's at 70 vills. The Shravamshas, same issue. They found raids, but they can't kill the Ratans and the Imp Camels. Not good enough for that, it seems. Or the eco's not good enough to make enough units to make that happen. Capoch trying to push back. He actually has Hun Tarkans, so he's got, like, crazy army comp. He's got heavy CA and he has Tarkans. But there's heavy CA from the Magyars on the other side, so they're superior Cav Archers. Villager's still harassed. Gray still... He's crammed into the corner, but still keeping some vills alive. And here there was an attempt from Argentina to delay this. The castle will go up. The Trebs will probably survive there as well. And guys, Vietnam, are they going to do this? Are they going to do this? Nikov is going to lose his base now too. He's got so little remaining. There's just always an army from Bad Boy and Say My Name where it needs to be. Always. And they've always had more army to come. And the GG's called. ACCM defeated. So only 3 players show up as the winners at the bottom right. But Vietnam take the first game after ACCM was out very early on. What a game. And man, that's what I just love about Nomad. That's what's so fun about these types of situations, because there's so many pros and cons to it. Obviously, it's horrible to lose ACCM. Horrible. But the players who killed ACCM, they weren't booming, right? And now you look at this and you think, Hindustani's Vietnamese with a free boom, getting that big of a lead, can clearly in time just defeat players on the other side. So impressive stuff there from them. I think they had a near perfect game. Bad Boy and Say My Name did so much damage to so many different players. It wasn't like they just focused on one. Guys, look at the Eco KD for a second. Say My Name killed 213 vills and lost 69. Bad Boy killed 284 villagers and lost 55. Poor Nikov lost 50 villagers. 200 villagers this game. Capwatch lost 100. Lucho lost 100, and then Lucky lost 171. Also, shout out to Hope as well. Hope did play a really important role. They needed a third player. Hope even killed 100 villagers this game. And then if we look at the res collected, I'm sure that's going to be ridiculous for the top 2. Yeah, Bad Boy, 103,000 resources collected. Say My Name, 96,000 resources collected. You did have Capwatch and Lucho with good res collected and good army numbers, but the army was nothing to compete with the Hindustani Imperial Camel and the Vietnamese Ratan Archer, 2 of the best units in the late game. And the KD tells the whole story there. ACCM, grand total of 2 kills and 29 units lost that game, and they got the job done. They got the job done. Let's go. Have you ever won with a .07 KD in a game? I don't think so, guys. Well, maybe you use the IR winner cheat code. That's fair. I actually have done that personally. I've had a really bad game against an AI when I was a noob. Used the cheat code and got the job done. But hey, he wins first game. That'll see YouTube at some point. So hi, YouTube. And game 2, interestingly enough, is actually a 1v1. So we'll probably see ACCM play that for Vietnam. Alrighty. So game 2. Again, the rules here are whoever plays the 1v1s cannot play the 2v2, which is game number 4. But Argentina have almost always played through Nikov in these scenarios. He is their best player. And then Vietnam the same with ACCM. Now, they both pick Chinese in the first 5 picks. The first 5 picks are free picks, but hidden. So you don't get to know what your opponent has picked until after those 5 picks. This does sometimes lead to repeats. A lot of Mayans, a lot of Chinese. But very rarely have we seen those match up in the 1v1s. So this is one of the first times I've seen a mirror matchup. Both players starting with the additional vills. Both players cheaper technologies. And Chinese can go for some great army options. Map is also pretty open. Like, Chinese usually want to wall up a little bit to protect their eco. I wonder how you play it now, though. Because, like, you're both Chinese. So you both have the same bonuses that might kind of change how you think about things over time. Yeah, because like I hate ACCM's map long term. It seems way too open to compete with in a boom game. The map for Nikov isn't great either. I think the wood lines are maybe a little bit more convenient, but still wide open on the left side of his base. So I'd say in theory, now pros are always going to wall up. But in theory, this should actually be a very heavy army game. So maybe scouts, upgrades, bloodlines, 15, 20 feudal age units before castle age. Blizzard, what's up? Thanks for the 20 months, man. A very open map for both. I think ACCM should understand that Nikov's map should be open as well when he sees this. But do you want to take the double lumber camp approach when your other wood line is very much exposed over here to the left side? Probably not. You might just be working with this wood line for a while. I don't think gold positions necessarily decide games. I actually think berry positions being safe is really nice for a start, because these days it's normally food and wood opening. You very rarely see gold as a heavy priority early. But I could see Nikov conveniently building up on this hill with his military buildings and somewhat protecting the gold for later on. So Bot Canero says this is 1v1 Arabia. Okay, Bot Canero. Let's forget about the fact that the map name is next to the mini-map on screen. What map do you think this looks like? I only speak to you with that tone because I know you've been around the community a really long time. So you're not new. You think we're looking at Black Forest right here? Islands? Ireland's? Hey, could be Lands Nomad. Okay, I'll give you that. There is a lot of lands. If you weren't here for the very start, maybe they could have built the TCs in the middle. Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, it's Arabia. Sorry for my sass. People come in and out all the time. I never look away, you know? So, that's, I guess, a little bit more understandable since I've seen it all. Get wrecked, C90? Yeah, was that me getting wrecked? That's true. I mean, if he said it was Arena and they deleted the walls, I would say, who would delete their walls in Arena, you know? I would say this is going to be Scouts, guys. Nikov, a little less idle TC time, so that plays into it. He's had the slightly better start. Wouldn't expect any big differences. We do have the faster uptime here for ACCM. And the weakest part about the Chinese rather is the early part of feudal age. But since they're both the Chinese, I would expect that this is going to be pretty smooth for them. I think I saw a Lel vid from you where one deleted his wall. That was not Low Elo Legends. That was a cast of my own game. Thank you. Don't call me Low Elo, even though I deleted my walls on Arena and I never saw a Low Elo player do that. Listen, us high elo minds, we think so many steps ahead that sometimes mistakes are made, you know? But when mistakes are made, it's all because of our wisdom. Does that make sense? If it doesn't make sense, you must not be as wise. I'm trying to save face here completely. I'm not doing a really good job. My bad. ACCM sees the TC. Dodges away. He'll see the barracks coming up. And Nikov comes forward, sees the barracks from ACCM. And there should be very few surprises here. That's kind of fun. Nikov blocked the stable foundation. Oh, dude, that's so annoying. I love doing that. Any small movement I can do with my scout that adds maximum annoyance to the opponent is my favorite. Like attacking their buildings and whatnot at random times. Ooh, Nikov knew exactly what was going to be built there. So that just delays the stable a little bit longer there for ACCM. Will ACCM snag horse collar here? Because Nikov did. And yeah, he's going to snag horse collar. Again, with how open these maps are, I expect big armies. Nikov's already prepping small walls because he doesn't think full walls are very realistic for a while. And sure, you're going to build up some walls towards this wood line if you're ACCM. Maybe if you get the wall down here, you then have a safe gold. But still so much walling. And you really need the wood for farms right now. You need the eco to fly as you run out of the sheep. So it's not going to be easy. I love Nikov's approach. I think this is the way to do it. It allows you to move forward with your armies as well if you're walled up like this. And then just farm around that TC. ACCM, more of the waller if I were to compare the two of them. And he's starting to wall on this side. And Nikov trying to be sneaky here. Or Sneakov, I guess. He's almost looped too far. No, he's going to see it. That should be a villager kill for Nikov, assuming he's paying attention. And that's huge for Argentina. Remember, ACCM was just defeated in the previous game, and still Vietnam were able to win. And now, oh, the quick walls from ACCM, but it's not enough. And so, first blood goes to Nikov. Still defending at his base. Still with really nice build-up, and the scouts come through now. A lot of the spears for ACCM are actually forward. One spearman might be killed, and oh my god, Nikov, that was perfect! He grouped the scouts around the spear so the spearman couldn't move. And here as well, his spearman gets a couple hits there and he kills the scout. This is really good play from Nikov. Really confident play, right? ACCM didn't get a warm-up because he was defeated. So maybe that's part of it. But nice save from ACCM. Those weak vills need to leave the woodline, though. And again, the occasional spear has come over from Nikov to poke down the scouts. And ACCM hasn't really accomplished too much with this army. And it just comes down to the small walls. Another scout goes down. Nikov's had a great game. 13 farms versus 11 farms. Greater wood efficiency as well for Nikov because of the double lumber camp. Still lurking around. And, like, in some ways, like, I think some people would be cursing their map right now. They're like, what is this map? How am I supposed to play this map? But, like, Nikov has played this as he kills the two spearmen there. Nikov has played according to the map that he got, right? I think that ACCM has played more towards the map that he wanted, but that's not the map that he got. So the walling approach, it leaves you exposed, and it can leave you a couple steps behind. Nikov's going to commit for another villager, is going to kill that vill, does toss away a scout to do so. But now, little less idle time for Nikov on that TC all game. Better economy setup. And he's killed 2 villagers. Sacrificed his scout numbers, but Nikov just seems a little bit faster to me. Just ever so slightly. Maybe it shows here. Maybe with this updates. Doesn't look like it here at all, but I've at least felt it when watching the players react and play throughout the game. Nikov's made it over to the golds here. Would be a natural time for an archery range, especially when you see your opponent is not on gold yet. He might be thinking that ACCM is going to head to this gold, which is probably ACCM's plan. The scouts are going to back away. I honestly wouldn't hate to see Nikov make a couple more scouts. Like, at this point, sure, you could play into archers, but if you lose your scout mass, the archers might not be able to advance out across the map. It almost feels like Nikov's planning for Castle Age and then Cav archers, though. Nikov brings in the 5th scout, gets to the hill. Gets a couple good hits. Nikov won't be able to see this, but ACCM's on the gold. As expected, though. And ACCM will expand his maps even further here. And now Nikov's thinking about getting walls down slowly, just in case. But he has not tracked the scouts. I think ACCM's expecting Nikov to go back as well, though. ACCM is not expecting Nikov to be here. That's the second time. He actually goes over top of the spear. And here he goes in for a Vil. ACCM quick walling on the left to save the wood line. And now the wall villager as well is exposed. And ACCM's actually brought his scouts home, too. He's not going for counter damage. And Nikov with villager snipe number 3. And now is on his way to Castle Age. Amazing play from Nikov. I think if ACCM would have continued to move forward with his scouts, though, I wouldn't hate his position. He has potential here to lurk around, snipe. There might be some holes in the wood lines at this point. There's farmers pretty exposed away from the TC. He could still do that now. But the first reaction from ACCM when he saw the scouts from Nikov was to click his scouts home. Nikov's actually just going to add more scouts now. So he's staying on stables. And he's just going to match the scout numbers from ACCM. I've been really impressed with Nikov's play here, guys. I think Nikov is playing some of the best Age of Empires I've seen from him ever. Honestly. Because in the past with Nikov, he would always crumble a little bit in tournaments. And I don't know if it's because the last 2 tournaments I've watched a lot of Nikov in, it's been a combination of team games and 1v1s. But he's got, when he plays 1v1s for Argentina, he's playing amazing. That win against Veleza when Argentina played Finland was incredible. He was playing at a disadvantage for so long in the matchup, still got the job done. I remember he beat Dow in World Desert Championships in the 1v1s there. Now he's up against ACCM. Like, he is looking as advertised. And he runs through. No, ACCM. ACCM now trying to trap here. Building a million gates and houses. But now these are going to be like having your base. And it's just another instance of Nikov seeing an opportunity and just seizing the moment. And ACCM's got to work so hard. I mean, you see the walls, but what you don't think about is the idle time. Then you have to get villagers back to work. Now you can never counterattack Nikov. And Nikov's like, boom, TC here. Boom, TC here. He's just going to boom and be patient here. And the scouts can't engage against him. Because the Lightcav are in a high enough number with enough upgrades to be a real threat. So, love this play from Nikov. Now, from here, ACCM is in all-in mode. Like, ACCM needs to go full army in Castle Age. Loses another Vil there. And Nikov should feel as though it's all about defense. And he goes in with the Lightcav again. Just passing. Meanwhile, camels are knocking on the door. Nikov, 42 villagers. Doesn't seem like a lot more than ACCM, but consider he is wheelbarrow and 3 TCs. It's not expected those camels will break through. But it was expected that ACCM would go stable units of his own. And Nikov goes for another Vil pick. Gets it. All this army for ACCM could have been active on the map if Nikov never ran through there. And ACCM knew he needed to be walled, but there was just that one gap that wasn't walled yet. ACCM will eventually kill the Lightcav. He's waiting desperately for Husbandry to come in so he can catch up to this thing. And once Husbandry's in, he'll actually be a bit faster. He drops TC number 2. And Nikov is maybe looking for the weak Vil from earlier. I think that's what he was looking for. It's actually one hit away from death. That's crazy attention to detail, but the light cav ends. So back in Nikov's base, remember the meme with him in the past, guys? Used to be his eco upgrades were always delayed. He's got great eco upgrades. And he's relatively unfazed, untouched. 2,000 resources collected more. The way ACCM can bring this back would be Pike. Like Pike Siege somehow could maybe have a window. Or using, and mainly using the monks to convert the camels. Because your camels can have a higher number if you get conversions like that, and then heal up your own units. But monks can't really move out around the map if Nikov has light cav still. So it's not like you can advance forward right now as Nikov gets some more quick walls down. And we'll send some camels over to deal with these raids. Nikov wins this. He ties it up 1-1. It's not really a big deal anymore that his team lost after defeating a player in the first game. But if Nikov loses this game after how game number 1 went, that would just be horrible for their mentality. At least Nikov's mentality. But it's looking good that Argentina could tie this up, make it 1-1, move into a 3v3, and maybe get all 5 games here. Winning team in this series will go up against France in the semifinals. It should be really close series with whatever team advances up against France. 3 TCs for ACCM, 20 villagers behind. He's starting to work his way up towards a timing here. I love Nikov's activity, though. See, now he knows siege will come. And so he already was prepped on stone to build a castle defensively. But he knows he needs bigger army numbers now. And he didn't see any pikes either. So he now knows that he could maybe mix in more camels. Snagging the armor upgrade he didn't have before. Nikov, 50 seconds of TC idle time. It's been a flawless game, honestly. As perfect a game as you could really ask for. Keep in mind, like, 20 seconds of that TC idle time is just the start of Chinese. There's something for ACCM we haven't seen in a while. A raid. Villager kills. Something to distract and harass Nikov. So Nikov has to pull the camels over to try and deal with this. Now the camels move in on the front. This is some nice momentum for ACCM. He'll kill some monks. He'll kill the light cav. Okay, hold on. It's also split up the light cav, right? You've got camels chasing different groups. There's still leftover light cavs around. This is just when Nikov wants to place that castle. Can he take the fight? I think the fight could be close. I don't know if he'd win it convincingly, and he's worried now. I think Nikov was expecting a mangonel. And so just wanting to preserve his lead, he's not going to go for the perfect castle. He's going to go for a castle that gets the job done. I still think this is more than fine for Nikov. What he didn't want was to force himself into an engagement that he would lose and then start to throw this. Because now ACCM can't push. Chukanu actually a really good unit to mix in against camels and monks as well. And it's been a long time since I've seen China mirror matchups. But the last time I saw it, the army comp was Chukanu, Halb, and like Onager Treb. We didn't see any cav in Imp. So this might be a continuous thing for Nikov. Because it always played into camel. And then instead of players switching to pikes, they'd switch to Chukanu. Because if you switch to pikes and the other guy goes Chukanu, the Chukanu beat the pikes, right? ACCM is going to try to push somewhere. Maybe through the stables, but there's always enough from Nikov waiting around. And Chukanu don't have many upgrades or big numbers right now. ACCM has to force the issue. He has to push. But into more camels, into monks, into like some Chukanu now. It just doesn't feel like it's enough. ACCM always is going to lack the numbers, lack the firepower. He is 10 vills behind now. It used to be 20, remember, but this fight should be for Nikov. I think ACCM is hoping that the +2 armor on his camels makes a difference. I'm not sure how much the armor matters in a camel war with Chukanu behind, though. And Nikov has just enough here to hold. And in all fairness, the Chukunu aren't doing a ton just yet, because there's still no Bodkinero. But Nikov will hold in this fight, maintain his eco lead, and is going to be up to 10 Chukunu. And I think ACCM's moment was right there, guys. In a mirror matchup where both teams have the same options, obviously very critical that you don't fall behind. It got dicey for Nikov, but now we can start to think about maybe a more aggressive castle. Maybe a castle here. Maybe even a castle on the Siege Workshop, like right next to that. This hill decides the game right here. But it might not be the position you push right now. If you see a Siege Workshop, like, I would be a little bit concerned about pushing up that hill. You're still thinking, I'm ahead, don't throw the game. I'm ahead, don't throw. But, like, you could also think, I'm ahead, win. Also, impressive job from ACCM. Like, finally got some control back in the game. He's got 44 on food. Nikov's got 26. Nikov's got 45 on gold. So that's not great for Nikov. His eco balance has kind of fallen off. But if you get to Imp with Chukunus against mainly Camel, this could be almost impossible for ACCM to stop. The Chukunu are shredding the Camels. There are some Scorpions in there. Nikov doesn't seem to care. He's going to fight up the hill, and he's going to win the fight. Now, I thought he was going to maybe take the fight and then build the castle next to the Siege Workshop at the same time. Maybe the next castle comes up. But Nikov will have his safe castle. Nikov will win this fight. And the Chukunu and the monks have just been so good against these Camels. Only thing ACCM can plan on now is some type of raid or counter to distract. But there's always going to be some army out there from Nikov ready to deal with whatever is coming. Remember, full armor on the Camels here. And they're still dying pretty quickly up against the Chukunu. He will kill all the monks, so that's not bad. But at what cost, right? And Nikov's got 16 Chukunu in queue right now. Nikov definitely has these moments, which I find very relatable, of like extreme focus tourney Nikov, where he doesn't realize he's over-queued villagers or military and needs to balance out his eco. But as Nikov once told me, because I was talking to him recently about tournaments and whatnot, Nikov said that most people don't realize how difficult it is to perform your best in tournaments. It's not about performing your best. It's about performing close to your best. Because even the best are still not always perfect with all the moments they need in a game. And down go the Camels if they continue in here. Nikov's placing a get out of my game castle. And he's still got the 47 on gold. Oh! Guys! ACCM just walked around Nikov's gate. And he is dropping a castle here! Oh my god! So they both castle dropped each other. And Nikov just buys a new castle right next to it. And yeah, ACCM, that's not gonna work, bro. It's a nice try, though. That was maybe his only way back. His castle will not go up. Nice reaction from Nikov. And Argentina are going to tie this one up. I guess it hasn't been a great day for ACCM. He got defeated in the first game. He's now going to actually lose this game. But it's all good because it's 1-1. Oh, wait, castle? Castle? Oh, it goes up. Okay, castle going up actually gives him a chance, maybe? No way. This game is crazy. Yeah, Nikov was banking gold so he could panic buy a castle when he needed to. GG. What a game. Yeah, I mean, I said it in Feudal Age. I think that the ideal game with Chinese is you open scouts, you wall up, and you're safe. But both maps were kind of awkward for that. And I felt as though Nikov played the map properly, and he played with a lot more army control. ACCM really tried to get these walls down early, lost 2 villagers there, played very reactive, just trying to continually wall up. And Nikov just, it was kind of a masterpiece from there. Nikov never was fully walled, ever this game. He was always had holes. He always controlled the game through economy and through military. And easier said than done, all the things that I just said as well. It's way more comfortable if you make decisions behind walls. It gives you more time to react. It gives you more time to adapt to the situation and more comfort to boom. Nikov said, screw comfort. I want army, and ties it up. So next will be a 3v3. I'm sure we'll see both these players in there for their teams. But what a series, man. What a fun series this has been so far. It's truly been back and forth. And Nikov, I think, like, he did kind of fall apart with his eco management right after he dropped his castle there, but he was still far enough ahead where everything was going to end up being okay. Game 3, we're in now, and sorry for the little ramble intro. It's not my intention. Hope is coming forward with his villager and his eagle. This is the Mayan meta. And now Kapoch has done the same, but Kapoch is stealing the rhino. There's only one rhino on this map, guys. If Kapoch gets this home, this could be devastating for Bad Boy. But Bad Boy was on the front with his scout, and he's trying to lame as well. So meanwhile, all the hunt have been shot down. Like, guys, Bad Boy needs help. ACCM's even bringing in some help right now. But it feels like Kapoch is going to get this. Kapoch has done a great job. I haven't seen this yet because a lot of times up against Mayans, people will bring in their rhino right away. So I think Bad Boy needs to find Kapoch's rhino and try and counter lame it, but I don't think he knows it's there. That's a big, big deal there. 400 food lost. 800 food gain for Kapoch. And Kapoch might want to send his Vil out here and snag this before this gets worse. Might actually end up being okay for Kapoch if he can't push in his hunt. And the Vil for Kapoch has been found by ACCM Scout. But that's a really nice start for Argentina on the flank. Like, half the battle for the flank players is just getting good enough eco to get archer numbers out. And Kapoch is actually going to chase this villager down. Bad Boy, he might not be able to go feudal age for fast feudal archers here. And maybe we'll have Kapoch do that as a strategy himself then. And Bad Boy's counter lame as well is going to fail. So he loses the Vil as well. What about Kapoch's Vil? Did Kapoch's Vil die? I think Kapoch's Vil survived. But I don't know where it went, guys. I'm really sorry. Maybe it already ran home and I missed it. Let me check Eco KD real quick. Yeah, he doesn't have a death. ACCM lost a villager to a boar while he was doing all of that. ACCM lost a Vil. Bad Boy lost a Vil. And Vietnam have had a really rough start to this. Now, Persians can recover that Vil because of the faster working TCs. But you do have Franks on the other side here. And with how Nikov's been playing this tournament, you'd expect he's not going to make many mistakes with Franks. So I think it'll probably be fast castle. I have seen Vietnam kind of do both, where they go scouts or they also go fast castle. This is going to be fast castle for ACCM as well. But let's see the food situation for Bad Boy. Bad Boy's got 150 food underneath the TC with no more on the way. He did build a mill out here, which he had to do. He might need to go double mill and mill the berries with all these Vils, which is not ideal. That's not something you would ever do, but it's the only thing you can do. These Vils need to go on something other than wood. On this side, Lucho seems to be in a pretty good spot. He also ended up building a mill on the hunt. He clicks up. And then Hope. Going full walls here. So Hope might end up trying some type of fast castle shenanigans. Is adding farms, is adding more Vils. Could be fast castle plumes or fast castle crossbows from him. Bad Boy just needs to be able to click up. And if you can't click up right now, the Feudal, you have to switch your whole plan to Fast Castle. And oh my god, Bad Boy! Bro! I mean, okay, haha, funny. T90 judges someone's farm. Oh, is he really qualified to make farm jokes? I get the jokes already, chat. But that farm is not going to help your food issues, dude. Still has some extra food here. There's only like 100 food remaining there, though. And Capwatch is going to be up making archers soon, so it's really important he has the walls down. He will have the walls down, though. And there's the villagers on stone for Hope. So Hope wants plumes. Lucho's going to make archers. And then Capwatch is going to go archers. And then Bad Boy is probably eventually archers, but he's still working on balancing his eco for a fast castle now. I don't actually think the castle time will necessarily be significantly slower than a normal start. Like, genuinely. Because farms can work for you eventually just fine. I think the army number with the castle time will be a struggle, right? Like, if you have to go fast castle crossbows into upgrades, you're probably going to be either later to castle or later to the army in the upgrades now. It was a really nice lane from Capwatch. I think, though, I will have to go back, but I would consider it inexcusable to lose your Rhino. Like, I think you just have to bring the Rhino in at your 5th or 6th Vil, and your scout should never let that get stolen. What happened was, Bad Boy was trying to lame as well, so his scout wasn't in position to see it. And that's we've seen that in 1v1s as well. Someone goes out to lame, and then they get lame themselves because they didn't have their scout active. So I like Argentina's position. Pretty happy with it. I think Hope's position is going to be just fine. Lucho, though, is going to use his archers not against the walls. He's actually going to use his archers in the middle. So he could stop ACCM from cutting through. He could show up here and hit Bad Boy. He could show up here and hit Hope. So that's not something that Vietnam have any intel on right now. They don't realize that Argentina is thinking about the middle control. Look, even Nikov is about to chop through this tree, and then he's going to send some knights out through the middle. Now, Capwatch built his ranges in an area where he was going to pressure the walls, but even he, I think, is going to plan on his archers going through the middle. So, saw a game where, what was it, Argentina-Brazil, where Argentina, they caught out Brazil from 2 separate players who had overchopped the wood lines with the archers. Oh, man. That tree. Oh, my God, he's about to overchop it now. He's about to overchop it now. He literally just overchopped it. And here comes Lucho just looking around for a hole. And oh, he sees the stone gates. But that's not going to be enough. That's horrible. Because the gate will go down. He needs a house here. You need a house or, yeah, 2 stone walls. Okay, that's actually okay. And no, it looks bad. Don't lose the Vil. Oh, okay. Well, 1 Vil is better than 5. And that keeps the army out for now. And you can still be okay. You are Mayans. You had the extra Vil. That could have been so much worse. And now you get to communicate to your team what's happening. And so you should tell ACCM to worry about that. ACCM should know about it, and ACCM will avoid the middle. And Bad Boy's also walling up because he knows army could be here. So you sacrifice 1 Vil for your whole team to be aware of it now. That's actually not bad. But Argentina has, like, both flanks are making lots of army. And then for Vietnam, Bad Boy is going to be making army, but he still hasn't clicked up. That'll take time. And then, like, I guess the Plumes are going to take a little bit of time for Hope. But I still think Plume is a fine choice here. I don't hate that, but he needs to get the castle up now. Because the amount of army from Argentina is going to be a problem somewhere. They're going to break somebody. Right now, it feels like they're going to focus their attention on Bad Boy, who's had a really rough game. Like, the start is really tough to get himself out of. He has actually clicked up to Castle Age faster than Capwatch, which is impressive. But I think he needs to maybe just chop these trees for now so he has some safe wood to chop. There's the castle for Hope. So Plumes will eventually come. 3 TCs for ACCM on the like outer ring. So he hasn't been able to go to the middle. And we already have Nikov out, snagging some relics. TC on the center gold. And also building his 3rd TC there at home. Is it a good strat to wall in opponents from the center? I never really thought about that. I think it's a little far to walk with your Vils. But honestly, bringing a Vil to build a couple stone walls might be pretty good. Like, imagine if right here, when Lucho came forward and this happened, Lucho came in and built 3 stone walls. I actually wouldn't hate that. But you have to walk Vils such a long distance. And you're just kind of thinking that the army controls the middle anyways. But I actually think it's better for you, because if you wall it, then your opponent will probably chop through somewhere else, and you're not aware of the opening. But now you're aware of where the army is going to come from. It's actually better for you with the fights. As weird as that sounds. Lucho needs Castle H. Has crazy archer numbers. Only killed 1 unit. He needs to click up to Castle, which he'll do here soon. Catpoch needs to make it to Castle. He's 30 seconds away. Bad Boy has 7 archers. It's not a lot, but he's adding the 2nd TC before Catpoch. Vietnam may actually be ahead economically, because there's also the 2nd TC here for Hope. Hope's Plumes pathing this way, and I think they're just here to help from the other side of the woodline. Kind of a weird area to see a plumed archer, though. Like, can you imagine how confused you'd be if you saw a plume here? You're like, why? Why did he go there? I guess Hope went that way because he didn't want to be caught out in the middle. It's actually kind of smart. But he wouldn't have been caught out because Lucho was over here. Syed, welcome back, man. Good to see you. Glad you could make it. Eagle, just a little bit of scouting from Hope, but now he knows where the army is. Eagle will go down. And yeah, Argentina started off fast. Started off with lots of army, but the army hasn't necessarily accomplished anything yet. ACCM maybe just now thinking about chopping through. And he might want to TC on this gold. Guys, I have had so much confidence in Nikov in like the past year when I see this guy play. He's just been so good. I've always been a Nikov fan, but I've really been impressed with his performance. He's about to get the 4th TC. He's about to get his 4th relic. 2 archers and the scouts are here. Try and break through. I think Nikov and Lucho have been looking at this, hoping he overchops maybe so they could finally send some army in. Plumed archers are a great unit, but against 30 crossbows, it's going to be really tough. But Lucho is falling behind in Vils compared to Hope. Plumes have mobility. The Catpoch's crossbows, they walked forward to see Britain crossbows. Britain crossbows have the 8 range. Mayans can compete with that easily. And now the 2nd range is coming out. And more production for Bad Boy. So Vietnam's starting to come alive a little bit here. Their army numbers are getting higher. The eco for ACCM's been insane. But he needs the gold. He needs a TC on gold. I think just mining gold without a TC would be horrible. And this is the time where both Nikov and ACCM will probably really ramp up army production. Because the flanks are going to start to encounter each other a little bit more. I think that support is going to be needed. 4 relics for Nikov and 2 TCs on gold. I mean, I'm favoring Nikov when it comes to night production then. Who's going to be in a better... 5 relics. Who's going to be in a better position? The guy who's got 2 TCs on gold and 5 relics, or the guy with 0 TCs on gold and no relics? And ACCM's got... He's got 2,300 gold left here, but that could run away... That could disappear very quickly. Here comes a TC for Bad Boy on a gold. This would be the first player for Vietnam to TC their gold. This will go up, and this TC as well should go up here for ACCM. And there's more stables from him. We see upgrades flying in as well. I think there's a chance that Nikov actually clicks up to Imp before making the Knights, guys. I'm not seeing additional stables. I'm not seeing any production. It's a bit of a gamble, right? Because things are starting to get dangerous for your flanks. But I think it could be worth it. I'm a little worried about Lucho's positioning. Not only does he not have support, but he could be trapped in here. This doesn't feel like a good spot to be in. And Kapoch has probably told Nikov, things are getting a little dicey here. I'm up against Britons, bro. ACCM sees the crossbows from Lucho. He's waiting for armor. They definitely want to trap this army here. But Ballistics hasn't been in yet for Hope. It's also not in for Lucho, though. So shots will actually miss. Some kills traded here. +2 armor is now in for ACCM's Knights. There's no support from Nikov because he's going imp. And the plumes are going to die. Now, these are Ethiopian crossbows. So you'd expect them to do a little bit more as they hit and run. But this is going to be a full clear up for Vietnam. And this is the risk when you have Nikov click up to imp. And you wait for the Imperial Age upgrades. Remember, it was a bit of a risk earlier for Vietnam to be low army. So they went economy, high army. And now Argentina went high army and then kind of high eco focus for a time. And now it's on Nikov to carry because that is just devastating to Lucho. Now there's 25 plumes from Hope. There's 12 crossbows for Lucho. Lucho, this is smart. He needs to be completely stonewalled here and stop chopping those trees. And then over here, Kapoch still won't fight. Because that extra range from the Britons is terrifying for him. Does the, do you guys think that there's, well, maybe a conversation for a different time. Never mind. I think there's more important things to talk about right now. Gold income's going to be tough for Lucho. Still waiting to see the Knights from Nikov. He does have the production. He does have upgrades coming in. He will be an imp in a minute. But his teammates are feeling the pain right now, and Hope is able to breathe, get a bit more map control, drop a castle in a really important position between all these golds. Lucho hasn't completely walled this up either. And the support from Nikov comes in. Now, he might need to take a fight before he wants to, right? Now his Knights show up. This is the difference as well. The plumes can just run away. But yeah, now Nikov is taking a fight just before imp upgrades because he had to arrive. But he arrived a little bit too late. 2 castles for Hope. He'll click imp here in a second. Meanwhile, Kapoch is struggling. Like, talk about the revenge from Bad Boy here. Bad Boy's done an amazing job recovering, guys. Bad Boy's on the way to imp. So Bad Boy is outplaying Kapoch now. He's out-imping Kapoch. And Vietnam, it almost feels like they just need to hold against Nikov right now. Whatever Nikov has, they need to make sure that they survive from that. And there's a really big chance that they won't be able to. Because Nikov, as he gets some nice conversions here, he's going to have 20 Cavalier soon. He's still got crazy gold income. Kapoch has stayed alive. Lucho stayed alive too. Doesn't really have much army, but he'll have to recover there. This is all about bracing yourself and holding right now if you're Vietnam. And Nikov has to find a spot to hit. Either here. Here could actually be really good, hitting Bad Boy. Or maybe trying to pressure right up through the middle, but ACCM's got the castle. He's got TCs everywhere. And East Persian, so it's tough to take out TCs. If Nikov could immediately click Paladin, it might actually make some sense. Or if he could engage against this, if he can kill this. Because then Kapoch is loving him right now. Here we go. Cavalier hits. Still 10 seconds away from imp upgrades is Bad Boy. So this is the perfect time, and Bad Boy's units are regrouping. And Kapoch is going to come forward with him. Crazy play. Honestly, Kapoch should dive the TC. I think he should just follow underneath the TC and get as many kills as possible. You want to just get this castle up to keep Bad Boy off of that gold. It's worth it. At a certain point, you might want to back up here. So right about now, I think you back up if you're Kapoch because you know the crossbows will get upgrades. But you should still be able to complete that castle. And he's 40 seconds away from his own upgrades too. Still 30 plumes on the way for Hope. There go the crossbows for Kapoch. And this game has just been back and forth. I mean, what a game. The big news, though, for Argentina is they just took Bad Boy off that gold. He does have this, though. Nikov, Paladin on the way. Paladin on the way. In 2.5 minutes, Argentina will get yet another power spike with Paladin. And Nikov is going to have to prop up this side because Lucho is still having massive problems. These are Imperial Age plumed archers, and Lucho is still 2 minutes away from Imp. So Lucho's kind of out of the game right now, which is not good for Argentina, but the populations are still really close. And maybe it's manageable because Capwatch and Nikov are playing so well together right now. The camel choice makes sense for ACCM considering what Nikov's making, but archers could be a problem still. Archers are not going to be a problem on this side. Lucho did complete his castle. Trebs need to come out from Hope. You need to take that castle down. That castle cannot be stopping you from taking fights. I'm sure we'll see it soon. Bad Boy needs to snag Arbalest. Bad Boy doesn't really seem to have the best food eco anymore. I think when you get into these situations, a lot of the time you're just sending everything onto wood and everything onto gold with archers. After the Arb upgrade is in and Bracer and all that, then you don't really need the food, so I'm sure he'll get it. ACCM's clicking Savar, but in 20 seconds, Nikov is going to have the strongest paladins in the game, and it's backed up by a whole lot of Arbalest. Still an upgrade Bad Boy doesn't have. Paladin is in. Population's even, guys. It's 410 population for both teams. Both teams kind of have a flank that's struggling. It's Bad Boy for Vietnam, and it's Lucho that's struggling for Argentina. Lucho still has an army. He's still got decent enough eco. This castle's going to be denied, so no castle here for Capwatch. And Capwatch is finding it very... sorry, not Capwatch, ACCM. ACCM is finding it very difficult to take fights because of the presence of the Arbalest. So he needs Bad Boy to have more numbers, but Bad Boy's archer ranges are getting trebs. He doesn't actually have many archer ranges around. Bad Boy is just not on top of it right now. I'd actually argue that Lucho's had a tougher time in this game, and Lucho has done a better job stabilizing from the difficult circumstances he's run into. We've got a massive fight here in the middle. ACCM will aim to complete this castle, but who wins the fight? We've got Savar, and we've got Camel now for ACCM, but there's still so many Arbalest mixed in. Oh my god, Savar are insane. But so are the Paladin. Plumes are now here. Guys, this game is so close. It's 115 army for both teams. And so Hope finally combines now. So they'll keep this castle up. But there are castles from Nikov everywhere. Capwatch everywhere. And Lucho could maybe get Arb. Like, I find it very difficult to know what to do if you're Lucho. Because you can't push red. And you can't really help the team because you're so slow. If you move out, you just get jumped on by Savar like that. At least if you're Plumes, if you're in Hope's position, you can pick your spots more appropriately. Amazing from ACCM there. But now here comes Nikov. And Nikov will snipe these trebs. A couple raids back here from ACCM. The quick walls from Capwatch keep them out. But the Plumes and the Arbs from Bad Boy and Hope have pushed Capwatch back. And while the trebs do go down, it's still not going to stop another castle from Hope. And I'm just thinking about the position on the right-hand side. Like, Argentina have nothing to stop this. There's only going to be more plumed archers. There's only going to be more problems here. So Argentina need to push this side, right? If they could take Capwatch's castle here, reclaim this area, I think they're in a good position again. That or just push straight through the gut. I don't think ACCM or Nikov should have issues economically. They haven't really been raided. There is this random Savar and this random Savar. I don't know how on earth they got back there. But if that could go, like, disrupt the trade line or something, that could be a pretty big deal. We're at that point. They're both starting to add markets in the corners, both teams. And it still makes sense to trade, even though there's gold in the middle. Guys, in this situation, you need your army to be maxed. And I think Lucho needs to ask for the res if he needs it. If you can't get Arbalest, you have to ask right now. he still has 25 army. And Argentina look to push back yet again in the middle. We do have plumes this way from Hope. Nikov with some quick walls. He might deal with that. And Kapoch. 80 Arbalest for Kapoch. He's got so many arbs. I'm just not seeing them all here right now. He only has 50 here. He should have 30 elsewhere. Maybe they're all in production or chasing something down. Savar and Paladin numbers are similar. Total army count is still so similar, but a lead for Vietnam because Lucho is struggling for Argentina. It's still really close. I think, like, the vulnerability on the right-hand side is still the biggest question mark for me. There's actually a very good chance that Lucho opens this gate at some point because he's sending army through the gate, by the way. Also, the Savar. There were random Savars around. I don't know where they went for ACCM. He is going to raid over here to take Kapoch off gold temporarily. What a great game from ACCM. And what a great game from Vietnam. I mean, it was like 50 army versus 3 at one point. Bad Boy got lamed like crazy. And he's recovered very nicely. And he's now pushing a position where Kapoch needs the gold. And oh my goodness. It's like a bit of a quick wall trap there on some of the Savar from Nikov. And now, or Kapoch rather. And now Nikov's going to dive here around the plumes. Nikov's got 50 Paladins. And they're going to hold this position again? How many times can they do this? I keep waiting for them to lose this castle. Ooh, Arbs got into Bad Boy's eco. I like that idea from Kapoch. There's not a lot of trade yet, but it's a sign of things to come, maybe. And now Bad Boy will wall this just so that doesn't happen again. Houses need to be deleted. Savar need to engage. That makes ACCM's life more difficult in the middle because he's distracted now. That's where Argentina will hope to push, but then we have a push from Kapoch as well on the left side. He's losing his buildings. He's lost his castle, but he's still hanging in there. And here, Bad Boy has to kill the Arbs that are coming in so we can get the walls down. I love this from Kapoch. Moving the Arbs deep into ACCM's base is purely just a distraction at this point. But I'm also, as Nikov snipes another trap, I also am starting to see Lucho's army count get higher than it's ever been. He's up to 50 army soon, guys. So if he can be on 50 army, if Kapoch could be on 60 or 70, and then they have Paladins as well, it could do it. But it's still 60 plumed archers. It is now 60 Arbalests from the Britons. And it just feels like Vietnam are less shaky at the moment. They have better castle spots. They have trade starting to flow. They're going to have stone walls everywhere they need it. There's stone walls here too. And I'm just in love with these plumed archers, especially when there's so many castles to produce them. And on this side, range and trebuchets seem to be superior than whatever Kapoch is able to think of right now. Kapoch has always had more army, but he loses so much of his army before he even gets in close to attack here. The 11 range versus 8 range is just so ridiculous to deal with. How much gold is left on the map? 69,000 gold. And I'm zooming out to see. There's still a lot of gold. Does anyone remember the game? It was in a tournament many, many years ago where one team started to add trade on this map. So they had all the trade, but the other team had all the map in the middle and had more gold. So imagine if Nikov didn't have this line of stables and castles here, but it was like on the edge of his map. So we had a game like that where one team, it was no trade versus trade, and the no trade team won because they had more, because they were just able to use the gold in the middle right before it ran out. I actually forget who might have won that game. I think it was like Finland. I think it was Battle of Africa 1 or 2. So this would have been 2017, 2018. It was like Finland's versus Gamer League. It would have been Tyrant back then. Anyways, crazy, crazy stuff. This game is fantastic. Again, a slight lead economically and positionally for Vietnam right now. But Lucho's army count is much higher. He's no longer in that state where he wasn't able to produce army before. I am seeing some Savars. Don't ask me how. I think they made it through the gate when like an Arbalest opened it. But Savars are now going to get into the back from ACCM. That's going to be a pain. Someone's going to have to deal with that. But now Nikov has surrounded the Arbalest for Bad Boy. We'll snipe the Trebs. We'll keep Kapoch in a nice position on this side. And this is an amazing fight. I think it's an amazing fight for Argentina. And then we've got the Trebs and the push on this side. Finally, Vietnam take down that castle from Lucho, but Lucho's got Trebs to take down the castles from Hope. If Hope loses his castles, he won't have plumes anymore. And the Paladins from Nikov have to go chase down the Savars. And just like we saw Argentina do, ACCM is going to split them up, make sure they're hard to track, and hit a bunch of different players simultaneously. 2 castles for Hope went down, meaning he only has 3 to produce plumes now, guys. And he has no stone income, really. That could be a problem. Bad Boy's Arbalest numbers are really low. We're not seeing too many reinforcements for ACCM over on this side right now, as Nikov's going to snipe some Trebs. Defensive castles now for Argentina. They've gained the score lead. Remember, both teams are adding trade right now, as we slowly run out of gold in the middle. But, like, I mean, what's going to be the difference maker here? The key switch for me has just been the fact that Bad Boy, he doesn't have the 60 arbs anymore. He's got 30 after that fight. The plumes and the Arbalest number on this right side seem fairly similar and are trading pretty evenly. I think everything that was in the trade ended up getting cleared up. I'll actually switch to military mode for just a sec here. It just helps show where armies are and where the important movements are. Just like 2 Arbalest over there could be something to keep an eye on. I don't like skirms from Bad Boy. I think that's just 40 units that will be ineffective against Paladins. But the Paladins for Nikov are on the right side. Guys, Hope might need to plan for life without plumes. It's getting close to that point. Dropping archer ranges and thinking about your own Arbalest might be the way to go. Because you don't want to get stuck here. He's got 16 units in queue, but he's got 16 units in queue out of 3 castles. There's the barracks now, so he might actually try eagles. That's obviously an option. And Kapoch has a big old line of archery ranges. He's always going to have the production down. And Nikov and ACCM are just fighting over this little gold that's remaining in the middle. There is currently 40,000 gold remaining, which is not a lot considering most of that gold remaining is all vulnerable. And you're going to lose your vills there. Then it comes down to the trade where, I mean, both teams are in a pretty even spot. It seems like maybe overall Vietnam have a little bit more trade. Now, this is the call out from Kapoch. He's like, he's got skirms, dude. Bring your paladins now. And we own on this side. But Nikov still has to fully support Lucho at the moment. And Lucho only has 7 trade cards. So I remember a game in World Desert Championships where it was the same team for the Argentinians. There was a game where Nikov overboomed. Everyone remember that? It was a crazy comeback from Gamer Legion. And in that game, you had a player from who needed resources who never received them. Now, you need to ask for resources. That needs to be communicated. But I think it's important right now because Nikov is fully popped. It's important that it's communicated. Well, he's not going to be fully popped anymore. Holy crap. They need to stop these plumes. If these plumes get in, all the trade dies. I think, is there a hole there? There was a hole. This is sick from Nikov. You just have to hope the villagers don't open the gates. Oh God, guys, this is crazy. We got raids here. We got the plumes trying to break through. Here comes Nikov with paladins. Don't open the gates, villagers. No! As long as these gates are locked, you're okay. If the plumes get in, though, this is a problem. The plumes are going to cram themselves into... Oh! No! There's a hole! No! the plumes are into the trade. But it might be okay for Argentina because they're pushing on the left side still. They're going to break ACCM. They're going to break Bad Boy. So trade goes down, but hear me out. Nikov has 40 trade cards. That's okay for him. Lucho only has 8. He's basically not getting gold anyways. Pop space is key right now. If they could get Nikov up to like 80 paladins, they can win the game right now. ACCM is so panicked with only 4 Savar and 13... 4 camels and 13 Savar. He's actually making elephants. He's making elite war elephants to try and stop this. The plumes will be killed. This will not devastate Nikov's trade eco or his team's trade eco. And they've got paladins everywhere. It has been all Argentina the last few moments. What a game. Love to see the elephants. I mean, but you're not gonna, you can't commit to the elephants, right? They're so expensive. You need the castles. The castles are crashing down. All the castles are crashing down. Even soon we're gonna see the castles crash down for Hope. And now Nikov's got paladins that he can bring to the middle. 200 army for Argentina. 100 army for, oh God, there's a couple paladins back here. But yeah, 100 army for Vietnam. And it just, I think it came down to gold. I really do. Like, I think Bad Boy wasn't able to make Arbalest and also make trade, so he made skirms with trade. Because the trade counts are great for Bad Boy, but it just, it's the timing on when you invest into the trade. That's the most difficult. I also think that Hope has had an issue competing with the production of Lucho, because Lucho can produce out of archer ranges. And now it's only 3 castles for Hope. Actually 4. He did just build this one. So that castle is relatively new. They need to stop this push, Vietnam. They have to stop this push. If they do not stop this push here, it's game over. The trade is right beyond this. And Bad Boy will be completely gone. All of his production buildings are right here. And I just don't think they have enough. Half this army is skirms. The skirms will die so quickly to the paladins that are in the mix. And guys, ACCM, who's had such a good game, he just really fell off the cliff there in terms of army production. I don't know if it had anything to do with some raids back here from Nikov that we missed, because I did see some paladins around randomly. But it definitely felt like Nikov went into overdrive here. And again, I'm going to say what I've said about Nikov all series long and in other sets as well. He's playing like a god. He's playing like an absolute god. 60 paladins nonstop for his team. He supported both sides when he needed to. Lucho was like out of this game. And Argentina's been able to turn this around somehow. Maybe it's because Frank Paladin's greater than Savar. I don't think any of it comes down to that. I think they're really close to each other, Savar and Paladins. Obviously, Frank Paladin's a little bit stronger than your average Paladin. I think it comes down to the eco setup, the production. I think you could say that Frank production speed out of the stables could have made a really big difference. That is something where I think that it would maybe be notable, because it just comes down to numbers at the end of the day. But I think we're going to look at the eco at the end and compare the two of them, but really it's just been an impressive captaincy and support from Nikov, because Capwatch and Lucho had both fallen way back. I also have to give Capwatch lots of credit and Lucho lots of credit for recovering. I also have to remember this game isn't over yet. Lucho's position is still not really great over on the right-hand side, and Hope is not finished yet. But it's this. Like, honestly, they can treb cut the trees, and they're just right into that trade. They don't even need to treb cut the trees. They could sit next to the trees. But hold on. The elephants are coming. The elephants are coming. There are some paladins through the trade, killing the Vils and slowly killing trade. Just mainly killing Vils. The elephants? The stampede? The elephants are holding. It's all about population efficiency, guys. So if Paladin beats Savar, Elephant beats Paladin. Holy. But still, it feels a little desperate. Just a little bit desperate. And now Nikov is here. Dude, Nikov's got 30 paladins to support. You can only fit 20 plumes inside that castle there, sir. That's the way to do it, though. Into the castle, out of the castle, and run away. And Nikov here again. And Lucho. Where are his archer ranges? Is he... Okay, so he's just kept these arbs alive. It's not like he's producing from over here. Catbotch's production has been great, though. And Bad Boy is like, he's going to get up to 60 arbs again. I mean, he doesn't need gold income in the middle, too, because he has trade. The Paladins are getting cleared up by the Savars. Ooh, but Nikov's going to run through this way. I'm really concerned for Argentina that this castle is here, because the plumes can just run right into the trade. Lucho, re-wall it, bro. Oh, the most important wall of his life. Sacrifice your whole economy if you have to. Just do not let those units through. Oh, man, that could have been so bad. What a heads-up play. Okay, here come the Paladins from Nikov. This will actually do significant damage to trade if you patrolled it properly. The plumes are dangerously close to getting through. There's a petard. Oh my god, the TC shot the petard. Are you kidding me? Yeah, I mean, the house is a vulnerability, though. Okay, okay. Big fight over here. Bad Boy has nowhere else to chop wood. So he's going to lose vills and trade will go down. But if the plumes go through... Guys! Everyone is losing trade! Everyone is going to lose trade! What is about to happen? This is so not normal. Like, this is horrible for both teams. I think Vietnam might actually take it. I'm thinking about it, because Bad Boy's got a lot of arbs. The Paladins from Nikov, they won't kill trade as efficiently as plumes will. It might just come down to if Nikov can get here fast enough. This is going to kill all their trade. This is crazy stuff. Now, look at the queue for Argentina. There's 60 arbs for one player, 45 arbs. So they're going to get a bunch of military once they get the pop space. But holy... Hope has given his team some hope. With the plumes in the trade. Again, this trade rate hasn't done near as much. And now look at all the arbs from Bad Boy. 100 arbs with Britons. He's going to come back to compete for the middle control. You should really try and, like, gather up your trade carts and run away with them if you can here. But Vietnam have way more trade. Vietnam have, like, 100 as a team. I'm quick mathing here, but I think, like, 115. And Argentina have Nikov with 45, 7 for Lucho, and 13 for Catbotch. That genuinely changed the entire game. And Nikov has to come chase now. Has to. Kill everything. And then Nikov can't be in the middle again. But there is still gold. That's true. There is still gold in the middle. So Lucho has had this gold. There's only 12k gold remaining. And Catbotch and Nikov has some of it here too. And then Nikov has relics. And then Argentina also has, like, crazy army count soon. But I'm always... Like, if I'm... And this might even be a wood game too. If I'm picking someone to win this game, I'm picking the team with trade every time. And I'm picking the team with Britons every time. Because Britons have that range and the production, which has clearly helped. Oh, man. They're actually bringing in army here. Nikov is not expecting there to be camels. Oh, no. Argentina. Argentina. The camels and the plumes will stop this. It's panic time. Look, Nikov was already thinking that he had cleared up the raid because he was just expecting the plumes, right? Now he has to come back over again. So he has to leave the middle. It is wild, though, because Hope's base is wide open and he's still losing castles. So Hope's not going to have plumes soon. This is a crazy game. If anything, Lucho needs to bring some archers back to deal with this. They're going to lose their whole corner. They're going to lose everything here, Argentina. Oh, man. Here comes Nikov again. The panic is real. Catbotch holding, but not advancing. Can't do that against the Britons. Lucho kind of advancing, in all honesty. It's got a bunch of bombard cannons. They could take down Red's castles. Nikov has to try and clear this on his own. If he can clear this now, and then they could bring Lucho's Vills to wall this, they might be okay. I think he can clear this on his own. That's a lot of paladins from Nikov. Yeah, he'll clear that. There's some follow-up from Halbs. The elephants have actually done a great job at times here from ACCM. I love the addition. They're not elite. Oh, they are elite. He got elite chonkers? What? That's crazy. Okay. Explains the strength. He still only has one castle. Brayton Trebs holding the position with Warwolf. They're on the hill. They're going to take down that castle. Going to take down that monastery. Lucho needs to wall up. Uh-oh, Hope. You open this up for Argentina. Now he can raid you. Now Nikov's going to kill your eco. Now you're losing your castles. Guys, what a game! What a game! Lucho still is like... The only gold he's relying on is like the 4K left that he's mining. But his army might be good enough if he could just keep this alive. Look at the wood income for Hope. I mean, wood is such an issue on this map, right? Because you're kind of chopping the middle open now. Can they stop? Can Vietnam stop these ARBs? The 70 Arbalest. I don't know if they can. Hope is primarily on infantry, which should not work. Nikov takes out pretty much the final castle for Hope. I guess Vietnam need to get into the trade as their continuous win condition here. And if they can do that, it could be good. But the castle's there for Lucho. Lucho's advancing. And are Argentina going to win this? 250 army. They're down 75 eco. They're down a lot of trade. But they have enough army on this side. I'm still freaking out because Bad Boy is advancing like crazy versus Kapoj. This pause right here, this might be a deep breath, assess the situation pause. No, okay, it was a hotkey. Okay, anyways, I might need a deep breath pause. Now, you're really not supposed to do that. You're supposed to stay in the moment, right? There's no deep breath pauses. But you still need an answer to the 100 Britain Arbalests that are coming to your base right now if you're Kapoj, and you don't exactly have the support because Nikov and Lucho are over here on this side. Also, this castle is being attacked by Savaran camels that made it through. If Argentina just got the wall down, the trade would have been fine, but the castle is actually going to crash down. The trade is actually still a problem. And so somebody needs to go deal with that from Team Argentina. Somebody needs to deal with this for Team Argentina. You just have to. That's got to be Nikov. Nikov needs to be everywhere right now. And I think, like, you could also say, all right, we lose our trade. At least we kill theirs. It's fine. But you're still pretty far away from it. Or not, because now Nikov is here too. What in the world is this game, dude? Okay, assessment of the situation. Hope is kind of dead. Okay? He's in the worst spot. Lucho, after these 130 ARBs go away, he may be in the same position because he doesn't have trade. But he's better. Then I think Kapoj is in the next worst position because Kapoj is running up against Britain Trebs and hasn't had the support up until now. But then you've got all the other players and then Nikov at the very freaking top, dude. Because Nikov is here. Nikov is making the difference. And even though I think I would put Bad Boy's position in a great position, I would say that ACCM is in a great position. I still think Nikov, with his gameplay and his support, is critical here. But it is still like a really tough game to call. And all the bombard cannons for Lucho just went down. And actually, these are El Dorado Eagles. And they'll deal with the ARBs if Nikov is in here. Nikov's like, guys, I can't be everywhere at once. I'm trying. I'm killing trade. I'm supporting both sides. I can't be everywhere. Lucho 6 trade carts. Kapoj 15. Those are the numbers to remember right now. As most of the gold is gone. If Eldorado Eagles get into wood lines too, there's great potential for raids. This is just ridiculous. 3,000 gold left on the map, but maybe more importantly, 6,200 wood. This has become a wood game when all the wood is in the middle. And if you chop the wood, you just create an opening into your own base. 50 Eagles for Hope. Now, they still die to the Paladins, but they destroy everything else. Who wins this game, chat? Pick a team right now. Pick a team. Sorry, Capture Age can't keep up with it. Who wins? I think maybe Vietnam, actually. I think they might. I wasn't sure Eagles would cut it. I wasn't sure Hope with 45 Vils could do it. But Nikov's pop is going to drop like crazy here because of these raids. Lucho's pop is going to drop like crazy. And Vietnam are holding here. They're actually holding here. They'll have the Trebs. They'll take down the castle. I mean, Nikov's still in the trade, but that's going to get cleared up eventually. ACCM has elephants in the eco. And ACCM has 50 Savar in queue. So ACCM's position isn't actually all that bad. He's got a better eco count than Nikov does overall. And still 60 ARBs on the left side here for Bad Boy. Man, what a game. The Eagle Wave was great. And now actually, because there's not many ARBs here, the Halb isn't too bad either. Oh, boy. And Hope immediately switching to try and break in. I don't know why we're not just attacking the house here. But you break through the houses, break through those walls, and back in the trade where there's no castle, that's just another mess to deal with. Hold on, though. Nikov's Paladins are still killing back here. I just assumed that they're going to get cleared up. But they're still finding Vil kills on farmers and also finding the occasional trade kill. The Eagles do break through this way. Nikov's here to meet it, though. So Nikov's aware. Of course he is. I think it's about the slow crawl for the Britons. Slowly take this position back. I would love to see a big Treb shot on Plumes. Big switch from Capwatch, by the way, to go for Plumes instead of Arbs. Oh, God! Capwatch! Get away! Oh, my God! No way! Bad Boy using the Warwolf upgrade against the units, and I don't think Capwatch notices. I think he thinks he's going for the castle, but one or two of those Trebs are hitting the units, and the Trebs have 50 kills, guys! 50! Oh, man! What a game. Yeah, I mean, what else are you supposed to do, though? Like, you have to stop to attack stuff, and when you stop to attack, the Trebs hit you. That was sick from Bad Boy. 60, 70 kills from the Trebs there. And, guys, there are so many players in this game that are just in bad spots. It's crazy. But Hope has rebounded very nicely, and Vietnam have trade. All three of their players have trade. The trade count is not there for Argentina. They're not winning on the left side. Nikov's Paladin number is super low. Vietnam have done it. There's going to be 100 Savar for ACCM eventually because his eco is so good. Don't ask me how. Vietnam have actually won this game. 100 pop swing is huge. Capwatch is barely holding on, and this whole right side is all dead. Whole right side is just all done. The score flip now. Players are going to notice that. I just don't think, like, Lucha doesn't have the army to compete. They'll lose the walls. They'll lose the eco. 50, 80 Eagles for Hope. What a recovery. What a crazy switch. It actually worked perfectly. I don't think he would have gone Eagles had he not lost the castles. How did he get the resources for that? Crazy expensive on gold. I don't think Argentina want to accept, but this is like the first time in a long time where they're not winning in any area. Before, they were like losing one side, and then they had the ability to push back on the other. But Capwatch is just getting completely slaughtered. His population's still healthy, but it's not going to be healthy enough. This isn't getting much better. And then a lot of Lucho and Capoch's eco is right here. This is, in my opinion, the best game from this tournament. This game has been phenomenal. There's been some good games. There's been some great games. But this game here, as heartbreaking as it is for Argentina fans, because it seems like there's this theme now where they're always in the best games, but they're on like the losing end of the really good ones. Yeah, this game is had it all. I thought both teams were winning. Both teams were losing multiple times. And I think this is even better than the 3v3, which was... Yeah, the 3v3 Arabia, which was, I think it was Russia and Brazil. 200 population lead now for Vietnam. Argentina just don't want to give it up. They don't want to accept that they've lost this game because they thought they had it. Maybe thought they had it multiple times, just like I did. And the crazy thing is, Bad Boy barely even plays this game. Like, he literally just came back to play this tournament with his team. Such a beastly performance from him. ACCM, you've come to accept it. He's a full-time pro. Hope is new. Hope is a young player. Quickly making a name for himself. And Vietnam win game number 3. What a crazy, crazy game. We almost should spend 10 to 15 minutes breaking this one down. Nikov made 990 paladins this game. And there were only 650 Savar on the other side from ACCM. But of course, that doesn't count. Doesn't keep track of how many elephants were there. There's lots of different things we could talk about. But oh my goodness. Now, see, I think a lot of people right now are saying maybe if Capoch would have made the switch to Eagles first, that could have done it. Here's the thing, though. Going Eagle switch against Savar is really bad. And Savar were always there. So I don't actually think Eagles were necessarily a great play. It comes down to trade for me. If we look at res collected this game, you look at gold, like Nikov had gold like crazy. He got 13,000 of that from those relics, by the way. But he brought in more trade profit than anyone. Look at the resources brought in from Hope and from Bad Boy. They just had so many more resources. So you can hold on. Like, you could lose gold units and still be okay. Now, I think KD is going to be telling. See, even still, this is so crazy. This is still so close to me. Like, Capoch, it makes sense that he's at 0.76 because he's up against Britons. And Capoch was on his own a lot. Lucho, it makes sense that he's at 0.56 because he was really far behind a lot of the game. I don't know if Capoch was ever in a position to tech switch into Eagles. It never felt natural. It didn't even feel natural when Hope did it. Because at that time, there was still going to be Paladins from Nikov. But guys, guess where the Paladins were? They were back here, dude. They were in here. They were like reacting to Vietnam's raids. So the Paladins just couldn't be everywhere. If you make 990 Paladins, it's still not enough because you can only have 60 to 70 on the field at a time. Wow, that was such a great game. I mean, I thought Bad Boy was out of it. I thought Capoch was out of it at multiple points. Hope and Lucho even more so. ACCM and Nikov, not really, but like, what's even the Eco KD here? Is that... Look at the total amount of villagers in that game. The total. Lucho had 340 villagers. ACCM, 312 villagers. They had to remake so much economy. Actually, even the Eco KD, probably the final thing to look at here. This is nuts. Nikov killed 504 villagers and lost 206. Lucho killed 57, lost 321. Capoch killed 112, lost 138. Hope had a crazy game with the Vill kills. 355 kills, 231 lost. Bad Boy lost 200. ACCM lost over 200. Killed 200. Like, whew. Great game. Great game from both teams. That's a heartbreaker for Argentina because it feels like all the momentum's with Vietnam now. But we go into a 2v2 next, and Argentina can hopefully respond. And if they respond, obviously we go to a 5th game. So, whew. So, we got  versus Argentina. We are in game 4 here. And this map is Big Freeze. 2v2 now, and the best players for both teams are not playing, as they are not allowed to because they played the 1v1s. Hope is in the yellow, playing as the Malay. On the red, then, we've got Bad Boy playing as the Portuguese. We then have the Slavs, or sorry, the Portuguese for Lucky. And then we have the Slavs for Lucho. So, you look at this map, you might initially think, as we could see a lame here, you might initially think that what we're going to see is a lot of arena style, because it kind of looks like arena. But we've actually seen a mix of that with standard Arabia style openings. Since you start with the farms, since there's usually pretty exposed resources right beyond the palisade walls, and they're only palisade walls, I think we could see something like Scout Archer here. So now it's different too, because we haven't seen a ton of 2v2. I think the qualifier had 2v2 Big Freeze, but the main event had 3v3 Big Freeze. So it's always switching the order of events. And so I think this is a little bit more Scout Archery in theory. The big shout out, though, is how Portuguese are played. It is Portuguese v Portuguese over here. Looks like Lucky forgot a house for a moment. A little sloppy there. But we could see organ guns, for example. There are shorefish in the middle. I think utilizing the shorefish makes very little sense because people are so risk averse. No one wants to leave villagers out there for the opponent to kill. And you also can't build on the ice. So it's kind of awkward. I think if you didn't start with the farms, I think that taking the shorefish would make a lot more sense in some cases. But listen, the shorefish balance also just isn't good. Like here, justifiable for Bad Boy. Here, like nothing. So I think it's good that the shorefish aren't needed every game because the balance of it isn't perfect. Not up to par if it was needed, I would say. Obviously really particular on map scripts. Sorry about that. You just never want a game to be decided over something like that. You want it to come down to the player's approach. But as I said, here I'd be kind of shocked if we saw the villagers go out. I think the only way we'd see that would be if we would see heavy feudal age play. But I'm looking at Lucky's build. I think Lucky will probably, as all four scouts are going to meet, I think Lucky's going to go for the castle build after all. And I hope I could see some type of fast archer approach. And then, well, do you want to do that though? Do you want to go fast archers against scout like knights when you also have organ guns? Double ranged unit could leave you vulnerable against siege. We'll see. Orentis is, I don't know if Argentina can pull it off without Nikov. Well, Hope and Bad Boy have about as much experience together as Lucho and Lucky. If anything, Lucho and Lucky probably have more time. I actually think that overall, Lucho and Lucky are on par in skill with Hope and Bad Boy. So, and I don't think there's going to be coordination issues here, honestly. Lucho is super solid. Lucky's really underrated. I think it's very close. I think you could make similar arguments about Vietnam, right? Like, can Vietnam get it done in a 2v2 without ACCM? Their chances obviously go down. And usually, if you take the berries before the lumber camp, you're going for the fast castle builds. I think both of them did that. Yeah, because it looks like these trees just started being chopped. So it's the same builds. Fast castle organs versus fast castle organs. And the organ guns are on the same side. Why did yellow and green build houses in the walls? Yellow and green build houses in the walls. Oh, you mean like this? So I could probably go back because nothing's happening here. So look at the start. See how the boars are outside? So this is like really punishing. And we've seen lames here. So what they do is they'll bring out the scouts and take the boars right away. So they won't get stolen. So they probably just brought in the boars super early. And because they rushed the boars being brought in, you can see here he's protecting it, right? They needed to delete the wall. And we're back at live time. Yeah, it's another thing. So your sheep and your boars are always outside the walls. And so you're not that far away from the enemy. So we've seen a lot of situations where teams will go forward to try and steal those. So, I mean, remember the lane that happened to Bad Boy in the previous game and how tough it was for him to recover from that? You just don't want yourself to be behind too early, so. So build orders a bit different here. Bad Boy's going up way faster. Like way faster, which means a weaker economy. Well, hold on. He did have... Actually, that's not necessarily true. Because Lucky had to rush Loom. And getting Loom that early means you're down the Villager most of Dark Age. So I think Bad Boy's build will actually end up being pretty clean at the end. And if you use the market, which the other player might have to do, and use it first, you get the slightly better prices. Hope Fast Feudal into Eco. So this is eventually into something. And this may be based on what he sees. I would expect there to be some Knights from Lucho here. How do they decide who plays which games? Well, you have to think about what's best for your team. Most have had their best players play their 1v1s. Because that 1v1 matters just as much as a 3v3 in terms of the total score. And so both teams here seem to have taken that approach. And then you talk to your team. You know, you think about comfort. I'm sure they played practice games, so you kind of get a feel for which players are good on certain maps. And you take it from there. And a lot of that stuff you don't really hear, right? Like, that's not communicated to me. There are times that I could tell you. Like, I know that, you know, certain players have played in certain roles or have certain comforts, but we don't necessarily get to hear their thought process. But it all just comes down to it's a team decision at the end of the day, and they'll decide pretty early on how that's going to happen. So Bad Boy's going to click up. We have a pause here. Bad Boy's resources seem just about perfect. He's just missing 50 food. He might have a little bit of idle time, but he'll click up. Lucky's going to be in a similar spot. They'll both go for a castle. We've got stable blacksmith for Lucho. So this is a fast castle into knights. And then Hope is, I think, largely going to adapt. But he solved the stable, so now he has to decide. It's tricky, though, because, like, in theory, monks could be kind of good against the knights and then maybe the organ guns later, but they're just so awkward to move around the map with. I think archers make sense. I think it's got to be archers. The only restriction in this tournament is that whoever plays the 1v1 cannot play this 2v2. And then you can play all your players anywhere else as many times as you want. So that's the only thing. So, yep. Bad Boy's up. Lucky is up. Lucho is up. Still no click up here for Hope. But Hope should be in a pretty good spot overall. Might be a bit later to Army. And Scout goes down there for Lucho. He can just add a new one if he wants to. Might not even want to. But yeah, I think Malay can catch up no time here with the Castle Age time. Isn't on gold yet, though. He's super heavy on food, not on gold. To not mine gold at this point when you already have 600 food is pretty crazy. Still think he's going to be fine, so. Would Chinese and Huns be valid 2v2 as well? Yeah, I think it's really solid 2v2. I think, like, you'd probably want the Chinese to play the archer role and the Huns to play the stable role, assuming you're on a more open map. I don't think it's the best combo ever, but I think it's really, really strong. Yeah. I think part of the Chinese combo, though, is you have to have a player who can manage the Chinese really well. Guys, we might see elephants. He's adding a stable. This might be cheap elephants with the Malay. I meant to pick Magyard style. God, I wish that guy was still playing the game. It makes me so sad that I made the Legend of the Liar videos and he didn't continue to try and come up with lies. He just kind of stopped. I don't know. Maybe he didn't like the attention. Maybe he changed his name. Maybe he's still out there tricking people. But, man, it was such good content, man. So for the uninitiated, for people who don't know what I'm talking about, you can look for the Legend of the Liar videos. So there's this guy, he was around 1400. He would play Malay. And in the Dark Age, he would say, man, I meant to... He'd say, hey, man. And the other person would respond or not. And then he would go, I meant to pick Magyars. But he would always misspell Magyars. And he would say Magyard, which made it even funnier. So it'd be like, what do I do with this Civ? I meant to pick Magyars. Which, it kind of works because a lot of people pick Magyars. So I think it's very believable. And then, surprise, surprise, he does actually know what to do. With the Magyars. Or, sorry, not with the Magyars, sorry. With the Malay. And then he'd show up with like 20 elephants, bust through someone's walls, and take out their TCs. And that was it. That's the whole story. And it was so funny, dude. And every game was the same phrase, the same lie, with the same typo. Yeah, some people would try and give him tips, too. He's like, what do I do with the Malay? And they'd, like, tell him. They'd be super nice. Meanwhile, he knew. So we have the Hey Man emote based on that. The Hey Man, I meant to pick Magyars. It's kind of... I think we even put the text in the color he used to play as well. But yeah, bunch of videos on that. Highly recommend. Okay, so here come the elephants. Dude, this was not something Lucho expected. He's got to make some monks fast. The first thing is scouting this. The second thing is adapting to it. Pikemen, probably not a great option here because there may be organ guns that combine. And the elephants are very, 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 very slow. And they are strong. They will beat a knight. But it feels like maybe the presence of just one monk here from Lucho, and these elephants will have accomplished very little. They'll probably have to back away. We'll see. See, if this is lower level, though, blue never makes scouts, blue never knows, and then there's like 6 elephants breaking through your base, and you don't have a single monk prepared. Could snowball on you very quickly. Here come the organ guns from Lucky. And there's the monk. And immediately backs away here, Hope. So he's made 8 elephants, about to be 10. I don't think he's stopping, guys. I mean, if the organ guns can snipe the monks, this could be a real problem. This could get out of hand fast. And there's only going to be a couple monks. This is also a lot of stress on Argentina. A lot of stress on Lucho. They're already down 2-1. Ooh, man. Yeah, I could see this working. I could actually see this working really well. Nice shots here from Lucky. Lucky's done a great job to support here, though. Lucky's brought in a lot of organ guns, and all of a sudden, maybe some losses will happen here, but he's weakened a lot of these organs. The monks are still pushing all the elephants away. Guess in the end, Bad Boy's not too unhappy with the situation. Really close game. So Malay elephants, will he stop? Looks like he stopped at 11. That's so many. He's making more now. Holy crap. Dude, you could take out the castle with that many elephants. I don't think he knows the castle's there, though, right? No. Still probably don't want to do that. Look how scared they are. I love it. You gotta respect it, man. Lucho can't exactly move out with his monks. And now the elephants and the organ guns just come back. I think the issue for Argentina is the organ guns need to support Lucho, but the organ guns can't get over there because they're cut off. Oh, big shot. Big shot! Oh, how was that not a big shot? Still a lot of weak organ guns in there. I think there's enough monks now, though, where this could be very dangerous for Vietnam. Once there's 4 or 5 monks, you're going to lose half your army. Eco count is dead even. We will have siege as well now for Hope from the outside, and this is the only area Lucho can get gold. Lucho's 18 years old. He's had a big rise over the past year or two. Excited to see what he'll do in 2025. And he's here up against Hope, who's also on the younger side as far as Vietnamese pros. That's also a dead Vil. Woo, 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 woo. That's kind of disappointing for Hope. Okay, never mind. He quick walls it. Defensive castle here from Lucho. Doesn't protect the gold, though. And Lucho is going to get pretty cramped. But the castle's up. They still have the tools to possibly defend from this, with the monks, with the siege, and now all of Green's organ guns. Man, what a game. This has been really interesting. I think Argentina might be thinking that this is a super low eco approach from the other players. Because of at least Hope, because that's a lot of elephants. But no. Hope's economy is still fantastic. Bad Boy is also outboomed Lucky. About 15 villager, excuse me, lead there. And a castle here? With 2 vills? 1 vill. He's repairing with 1 vill. He's going to build a castle with another. Okay. You better hope this goes up, bro. Guys, this could be really bad. Really bad for Vietnam. Because Redemption's in for Lucho, so he can convert anything now. Oh, that doesn't help. A lot of that's vision. Hope had vision over all this area because of the outpost. And Lucio didn't have vision because they don't have the outpost there. And Hope is slinging! Ooh, okay, so you can send resources to an ally in the same age, just not up in age. So they're going to sling Bad Boy Imp. That way Bad Boy can hopefully finish off the game in Imp with a forward castle. That's a really good call. That's a really good call. It makes so much sense. Don't think that's something Argentina is going to be thinking about. Once the castle's up, it just becomes so much more difficult for them to know what's happening. Are they going to dive right now? I saw we had Devotion come in moments ago. So the elephants will stay of their color for a little bit longer. And we have a push here with the elephants. Hope says, I don't care. The monks go down. The elephants are coming through. And he's like, hey, man, I meant to pick Magyard. No, this is horrible for Argentina. This is before the sling even plays its role. All the siege goes down. All the monks go down. Where's Green's organ guns? Green's organ guns are over here. He is attacking the Imp TC. But I think they dove here because they saw Green was on this side and knew that Green wouldn't be there to defend. So Green's counterattack opened up this opportunity. I think Lucho probably felt he could defend. I've got monks and I've got siege, right? That's probably what he was saying. But in the end, I don't know if it was enough for them. And now Lucho has no gold. Slavs are such an awkward civ to play in these types of positions anyways. And the counterattack hasn't accomplished a ton. Let's be honest. And Lucky's about to click up. And Bad Boy's already going to be in the Imperial Age. He'll have 2 castles to make trebs on the front. Who knows if Lucho's second castle will even go up here. Bad Boys played amazing, guys. Vietnam have played amazing. Maybe more experience, but I mean, Bad Boy's been around a long time. He's taken significant breaks, though. Hope has been just as active as Lucho. Oh, nice conversion. All the monk upgrades finally pay off. Oh, Bad Boy, what are we doing, dude? Bad Boy should be a little bit more worried there, but that split was insane. And yeah, now he's making the trebs. And you can't even get close to the trebs now because the castle's protected. Elephants as well from Hope are pushing back the organs. Elephants? Malay elephants? Competitive AoE too? You just don't see this, man. This is crazy. Now, Hope can't send resources now, by the way. Just a reminder, he can't sling anymore. It was a mini sling. It was a nice little gift. It was a nice little $20 bill and a Christmas card from his grandparents, you know? Just a little bit of a boost. Some desperation now for Argentina as they try and recover. And they thought about going for the trap. Castle Fire Push that idea out of their minds. There's still just going to be more trebs they cannot deal with. What's the army supposed to be for a player who has no gold income? It says Lucho has gold. Oh, I guess he is mining gold right now. So, yeah. He has it for now. Elephants have done way more work than I would have expected here. They seem like such a problem for the organ guns. It's so annoying for green to chase them down. And it's such a cheap investment, too. Guys, what a game from Hope. Like, Hope opened with the elephants, had a boom going, slung Bad Boy to Imp, and now is like, has been pushing with the elephants in the middle, is still massing another elephant group, is spamming like a madman, 115 vills, and is about to die. This is crazy. Poor Argentina probably just thinking about game number 3 right now. A game they very much could have won. But yeah, dude, these elephants don't care. They're so cheap. You could toss them away, and they're so tanky for what they are, right? 250 HP, 12 attack. It's going to be Pikeman as the choice now for Lucho. Probably a good choice, just like monks. But there's organ guns that you have to deal with, too. And for Argentina, you've had a great year. They played well in World Desert Championships as well. Unlike a lot of other teams that combined their best players over different countries, they had the Dreamers team, which was basically the Argentina team we see here. Looks like their road will end in the quarterfinals. And Vietnam, who had kind of a rough start in this tournament, most likely going to turn this around and go to the semifinals. It'll be Vietnam versus France if Vietnam can finish off this series right here. Maybe I'm speaking too soon. I mean, Lucho's still at 87 vills. But I feel like they've got Lucho in a spot now where he's kind of out of it. And now they can focus all of their attention onto Lucky. And if they 2v1 Lucky, I'm not sure Lucky has enough. As we have a pause here. Oh my god. Oh my god. Hold on a second. Hope just sent resources to Bad Boy. And you're not allowed to sling up an H. And then Bad Boy sent it back. Ah, okay. So actually, if you send it back, it's fine. They said if there's mistakes, if you send it back immediately, because I think they realized, it's okay. That's actually in the rule book. So you have to send back more resources than you had sent originally or something. But I'm really happy they immediately sent it back, because can you imagine the drama? Dude, I was so worried. I was so worried there was about to be omega drama. Oh, that could have been bad. The bank called and said, "Are you sure you made this transaction? Did you mean to make this transaction?" He said, "Actually, no, I'm sorry. That was a mistake." Oh, man. I mean, a lead organ gun is now in for Bad Boy. Lucho is dead, man. Lucho is dead. And the organ guns are not elite for Lucky. Lucky is... He's in big trouble as well. The elephants will die for the bombard cannons. All the bombard cannons will get sniped. And Vietnam win the series. And I feel like this series... Well, now we have a pause. Really ruining my big finish here with the cast. Hold on. It's not finished yet. GG. And now it's finished. And Vietnam had an amazing performance today. That fight in game number 3 was exceptional. I really thought they were dead there. And this game, they played without ACCM, and they played perfectly. I think Argentina will look back at sets, and they will think, man, if only we didn't lose that game, right? If only we could have gotten the job done here. This series, game number 3 was the big one. I think they had a lead in that game, but Vietnam showed incredible fight the whole way through and prevented it from getting into the 5th game. So really like the Argentina team. I think they all played very well. Let's not forget that, like, Lucho and Lucky kind of new to the squad. These guys have not been playing for Argentina for years and years and years and years, and they're relatively young. So I think there's a lot of things to look forward to for the Argentinians in the future. But these Vietnamese guys, who for the most part have been around forever, they're still insane at the game. And Hope is the new kid on the block there. And Hope played like a god, dude. Hope played like an absolute god. Just when you think he's done in games 2, like game number 3, he turns it around. Such a great job from Hope today. 42,000 resources collected. The strategy to prop up Bad Boy, send Bad Boy a couple resources, just so Bad Boy could get the imp timing, was great. But Bad Boy also seemed to have a bit better play than Lucky did in this game, at least. All right, ladies and gents, we are in a game 5, and it's 2-2. So let me re-explain the situation here, because there's a little bit of confusion. It's actually not that complicated, only there was a little bit of a review process. So the rules in this tournament are that you cannot sling, so send resources up an age, right? So you cannot send from feudal to castle, someone in feudal to someone in castle, or from someone in castle up to imp. Okay, it's not allowed. And we noticed in the previous game that there was an instance where Hope had slung resources up an age, so over to Bad Boy one time, and he immediately slung it back. So he was like, oh crap, I made a mistake, and he fixed it. That instance is actually fine. The rules even account for that. But 4 minutes prior, I had missed it. I think some of chat had missed it. Many people missed it. He had sent 500 stone or 400 stone to Bad Boy when Hope was in castle and Bad Boy was an imp. And Bad Boy immediately dropped a castle with that. And that's against the rules. So it sucks. I mean, for Vietnam, it absolutely sucks because I think they would have won the game anyways. It's not great, but it absolutely gave them a competitive advantage and against the rules. And so admin said, hey, we got game 5 now. Argentina gets the win. So it was a legal sling, which is crazy because now that whole storyline at the end of that game of Argentina not getting a chance to recover, bring Nikov back in, etc., it all changes. So we've got Lucky on the flank. Lucky is playing as the Teutons, all right? In the pocket position, we've got Lucho. This is a little surprising to me that they put Lucho at the pocket instead of Nikov. Lucho playing as the Khmer. In the blue, we've got the Italians for Nikov. And I think the flank is the more difficult approach to play on Arena, so you maybe put your best player there for that reason. Nikov, the Italians, up against Say My Name, who's Turks. Now we got ACCM playing as the Burgundians in the yellow. And then we've got the Bengalis for Bad Boy here. And Vietnam are hoping that like mistake from Hope is essentially forgotten here. And we have a pause right now. Dude, this is tense. This is tense, bro. This is so tense. Oh. I just think it's a tough situation to be in for all that are involved. Vietnam thought they had it done and dusted. They certainly should understand there should be no argument. They broke the rule. And then Argentina, they thought they were done, and they've got that second chance now. They don't want to blow it. I don't know why there's a pause here, so. Mods, maybe we could also pin a comment with the full explanation of the situation instead of relying on individual Twitch chatters to just communicate with each other. Not saying you guys can't do that, you know, but a comment of some kind pinned could be pretty good. So, also, to the individuals that would like to use my Twitch chat to just argue and whine about it, you could go literally anywhere else on the internet and do that, but we're focused on a game 5, so thank you. Thank you for not continuing that. That makes me happy. Teutons are a big call here. Teutons, they have the conversion resistance, so any potential monk play from the Bengalis will be way weaker. And I was thinking that the Bengalis would go monks. So we might end up seeing some type of a castle drop fast imp style. We could always just see castle drop into Ratha. But Teutons affect all monks across the board, so it would also affect any monk defense from like Say My Name. I think Say My Name's most likely going to try and go for Janissaries here. Chat, type a 1 if you remember the crazy game where Sato died to Yo. It was 4v4 arena. It was France versus China. And one of the Chinese players, Jibatong, almost got defeated. Scouts are actually... Lucho's holding open the base there. That was interesting. So basically in that game, it was gunpowder from the Italian player. The Bohemian player. And the Italian player killed him with condos. So I'm looking at this. We got Italians, right? And then we got Turks. So I think that Italians could maybe be pretty decent as a matchup there. But I was not expecting Nikov on the back of this to actually go for a tower rush. Nikov towers. Okay. Well, what I was going to bring up next is the Turk player will probably want to kill the Italians before late game, before condos. So I was thinking the Turk player should build the castle forward. So if you were to place the castle on the walls, you kill the Italians before the Italians can get to condos. But Nikov, I think he's hoping that if the castle does come up, that the castle would be more defensive. Where's he going, though? Is he gonna... What is happening? Lucky's gonna tower rush too. It looked like Nikov was gonna try and run over to ACCM's base. I don't think that's gonna happen, though. Ooh, Scouts in Feudal. Scouts in Feudal. This could play a bit of a role. Lucho's Scout's not in Feudal, and Nikov's Scout is on the other side. And now the Vils are here, too. Don't open the gate. Be careful. Don't let him in. Okay, and here comes the tower rush. Wow, okay. I don't actually love the fact that Nikov is trushing from this side, because you don't want to allow Say My Name to just walk this way to your base later. But the idea of a tower rush still could end up being pretty strong. Now, Bad Boy deleted that tower because it was in range of the Teuton tower. You don't really want a tower war against the Teutons. But this tower's fine. And I'm just... So far, I'm not actually loving the tower rush idea. But it's all about how the opponent deals with it. Bad Boy is on stone. Bad Boy's dropping a blacksmith to maybe snag fletching. And there's a lot of villagers just not working right now for Lucky as he's hoping to break through. So he's building one tower, or he was building one tower, and he's trying to break through this gate. Attacking the gate is so bad, guys. Like, okay, so I get it. A lot of like mid-elo players do it. But at the high elo, I really think you should be attacking the stone wall. You can stack 3 Vils and a scout on the stone wall. You can only, if you're only bringing like 4 Vils to attack the gate, it still takes way longer because the gate has 700 more HP. It's maybe faster if you bring like 10 Vils or something. I don't have the math, but so far, I mean, Nikov's just pretty much towered, built some archers, and is going to attack a gate. And only now is he through. But over here, Lucky's through as well. And the whole idea on Arena is that the opponent can't counterattack you. Man, what a tower from Bad Boy, though. The fletching upgrade ranges the tower, and the opponent doesn't have fletching. And he can't afford it yet either. So, oh no, he's getting it now. Okay, I'm stupid. Well, then this might not actually end up being enough. And hold on. Things are about to get crazy. Yeah, I mean, if I'm Teutons, I'm really happy to just try and shoot this tower down. I wouldn't even necessarily need to build another one. Shoot that one, shoot that down, bring the scout in, distract the tower. This is an advantage to Teutons because you can fit more Vils inside the tower. Now, Nikov's whole strat is to slow down the Turks from getting a castle because they spend stone on all of this. And if you put the archers inside of the tower, you should be shooting down the enemy towers. But Nikov's tower is attacking the house. And I don't think Nikov has picked up on that. So it's not perfect. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. All your Vils inside the tower. Oh, he's just going to drop another one even closer now. And Argentina are making it messy. Guys, their bases are also open. There is a stable for Lucho, and Lucho's got some scouts. Lucho's scouts could be here, and if they could break through, this could be even tougher for Bad Boy, but they seem to be prepared here, Vietnam, because they've walled up. Man, it bothers me so much that Nikov's tower... Okay, it's just now attacking this tower. But, guys, Nikov doesn't have near as many idols. Because he has archers firing arrows, and the opponent has Vils. So this is successful for Nikov, as far as I'm concerned. I'm still really impressed with the defense from Vietnam, though. There's also a stable from ACCM. So both pockets are going to boom and make cav. And ACCM is going to send the cav over to Nikov's side. And the cav from Lucho is over here. But Lucho's kind of showing... Well, he's not exactly showing it. I'm wrong. But he's not able to benefit from having the cav here just yet. So things could get a little bit dangerous. I think Say My Name might be running a little bit of out of ideas on how to play this now. You're so far removed from the castle drop. And here come the light cav from both players here. So I guess ACCM will come this direction. A lot of idle time for Lucky. He's bringing more Vils? What? Holy crap. He's going to have 12 villagers forward right now. 12 villagers that could die. This is not good. I think they got frustrated with the defense from Bad Boy. Bad Boy's just repairing his towers and dropping archers into towers and making this look so easy. And the repairs are sick. And it's forcing weird moves from Lucky. Like, he thinks he needs to get the tower closer so he can kill the repair build. That's what this is. I actually think it's a good idea to try what you're doing here if you're Lucky, but it's like very likely things could go wrong. Say My Name, still repairing away. Did repair this one to completion. Now the light cav are on the way in Vietnam! Vietnam! They find the Vils! They find the archers! They defend! And over here, Lucky lost how many Vils? Did he lose 3? He lost 2 Vils. So Nikov's tower rush isn't actually making the progress he would have wanted after all. There's still gold. There's still stone. Vietnam are chilling. The strategy was to break through, to break this hold. This is what you want. See how the difference between that tower? Because you can't repair it any longer. I mean, if they have a gap here, and Lucho can run in that gap, Lucho just killed a monk too. That could still be really good for Argentina. It could always swing. But Bad Boy just walls it up, and he's chilling. It's crazy. Not a horrible position for Nikov. We'll check his eco here. Nikov at 38 Vils. Good eco setup. Obviously on stone and gold and all that. Still has good forward control. But possibly some concern for Lucky. I would guess from here that Lucky probably buys a castle. We might see a castle from Bad Boy and from Lucky, and then Fast Imp or something. There's a gate now from Bad Boy as he wants to sneak around with a couple archers. 50 Vils for Lucho, by the way. Very clean boom. He's also outproducing ACCM with the cav. Sniped a couple of those monks too, which I don't think ACCM was ever expecting. This could be really nice for Argentina. If anyone's just getting here, like, what happened, check the pinned comment, please. All the information's there. Vietnam kind of threw that game because of that big rule, and they didn't need to do it. It felt like they had a really big lead. Mistakes were made. I'm seeing stone be purchased. We're definitely going to see a castle here. 100%. Not sure about Nikov, though. Say My Name, to my point earlier, could actually walk forward and drop a castle on Nikov's face. Because you could just leave this gate and do it easily. Oh, does Nikov do that intentionally? Okay. He's sitting underneath the tower now. That's nice. Now they can't be repaired anymore. And now that stops the Vils from running out of the base and placing a castle forward. That's really nice from Nikov. And this is really good from Lucky. There we go. Winning game. Winner of this game goes to the semifinals. Both teams are so good. Like, they could definitely make it all the way, win this whole thing. And uh-oh. Okay, so Teutons get murder holes for free. That's nice. That's a lot of cav from ACCM, though. I think this is fine for Argentina. I think the murder hold towers paid off, and now he's back to building the castle. Now Bad Boy's going to build his own castle. Now Bad Boy's going to bring the archers. Anything to delay this castle, but the towers are still there. But the castle's not completed yet. You've got to complete the castle here, Lucky. Built. Yeah, even if you lose a villa or two, get the castle up. And this is about fast imp or rams. One or the other, I'd say. Loses 2 vills. Gets it up. Oh, the light cav can run in! Run in! Oh, that could have been so nice, actually. But you don't know if it's going to be good for you to get your army trapped in there. Nikov bringing more vills forward. Hold up. So I think we might see a castle from Nikov. That's been signaled, though. Guys, if you get spotted like this and the scout is kind of tracking you, that is a sign that you goofed up. That is a go away, go back home sign. But I don't know. Maybe he's fine because ACCM did lose all of his resources. Now, hold on. We got a sling. ACCM lost his cav is what I meant to say. Okay. ACCM is sending Say My Name resources. Say My Name is in the same age as him. This is allowed. What you cannot do, Vietnam, because we don't want to repeat. You cannot send resources up in age. So they want Say My Name to go fast imp. But now there's a castle coming up on ACCM's face. And ACCM, he's not going to be able to sling for very long with all this pressure. Over here, the castle war is heavily in favor of Bad Boy, and he's making an armored elephant. I think this is bad for Argentina. Lucky is making petards, hoping he can hit. He's going to have to be so lucky. Like, he's lucky, but I don't know if he's that lucky. Because how are you supposed to get your petards to hit that castle? He may even be making petards for the elephant ram. ACCM needs to stonewall. Otherwise, he's going to have knights in his base. They're going to go out to kill ACCM. And now Say My Name is up to imp. Will be an imp in 2 minutes. Look at the TCs for Lucho. Holy eco. Crazy eco for him. He's making lots of army. They want to kill. They want to kill somebody. Imagine if he would have brought the army over here. Like, maybe the army right here would do something. Like, Lucky is eventually going to lose his castle. This is still not good. I think Vietnam could possibly hold. Now, they need Say My Name to play like an absolute freaking god. They need Imperial Age to matter there. He doesn't have a lot of his own eco. And Nikov also imping at the same time. The monks and the siege could potentially defend here for ACCM, but it's oh so difficult when there's so much army here. Nikov gets rocked. He's going to be concerned he'll get castle dropped soon. Lucky's castle's going to go down. He at least is like kind of booming though. But I'd expect Bad Boy to be way ahead of him. ACCM holds. But can he hold against Trebs? Like one Treb from Nikov and he can break through here and take out everything ACCM has. Here comes the army. Oh man. This has to be killed. This has to be killed big time. There's outposts from Nikov. Lucho sees it. Lucho sees it. Lucho can kill this. Lucho can kill this for Argentina. Remember, Say My Name is all in. He needs to win the fights all the time now. He does not have the economy to make a lot more army. And he really needed a forward castle here. Argentina's got a crazy big boom through Lucho. Lucho's got a really good civilization to work with if he can get cooking. And Lucho is flying at 140 vills, and he stops the forward castle. I know he only killed 2 mangonels, but that is such a big deal. Also, love the guard tower upgrade from Lucky. And Lucky's done a pretty good job. Lucky's at least booming. Like, Lucky's at 70 vills. That's a good fight, in my opinion, for Lucho. Now, I think he needs Imp, and then produce more army from there. And he has a decision to make. Does he go for Ballista Elephants, or does he stay on, like, normal Cav? Because normal Cav, you can keep making army a lot right this second. But Ballista Elephants probably win you the entire game. I think you can actually justify ballistas. I think they have the time. And there's the trap from Nikov. And that's the Imp TC for ACCM. But I think Nikov's going to go for the castle. No, he's going for the TC. I'm assuming ACCM will notice that. And ACCM's actually deleted his own house so he can hit the Treb. That bad boy's coming over as well. Nikov was not expecting this to be so difficult. Mangonel goes down. Treb still being attacked. TC still being repaired. Micro from Nikov, though. He takes out the Mangonels. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And he's going to get it again. Sick. Sick, sick, sick. ACCM will make it to Imp. Castle. Place there from Say My Name. This is what he wanted a couple minutes ago. He should be able to complete this. And Nikov is going to need a lot of help. Because Nikov is trying to kill ACCM. He can't defend himself. Oh! Oh, wait! 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 There's knights here! Oh, this is going to be denied! What in the world? Guys, this could be the game. Like, Say My Name's push has accomplished nothing yet. And Lucho swoops in again. Lucho's also going to dive in over here. Lucho's making Ballista Elephants out of 3 castles and is going to be an Imp soon. Disaster for Vietnam. This is crazy. Like, oh, man, I just can't stop thinking about the previous game. They could have had this one. This was 3-1, and they broke the sling rule twice in the same game. We missed the one instance. The second instance we call, they immediately corrected, but they slung up an age, stone to a player who immediately built a castle on the front. And Argentina, they're going to win this series, and they're going to go to the semifinals and beyond. Because I don't see a response to this. Like, ACCM is completely screwed. Say My Name is completely screwed. I guess Bad Boy's kind of okay. Like, nice little gate trap here from Lucky as well. Like, maybe? But you can't run in Cav to kill off too many Trebs at this point with Genoese around from Nikov. There's even Ballista Elephants here. I mean, Nikov, as long as he has these castles, ACCM dies. And he's going to have the castles because Argentina are converging in. Lucho again. Lucho's going to kill, at least 1 Treb. He'll get the snipe there. Nikov's not repairing anymore, actually. But they're doing so much damage. Lucho does have 167 Vils, so it's a bit of an overboom. I think he can justify it. The units he's going to make are really expensive. 150 villager eco is pretty standard, so he's not too far beyond that. Say My Name offers so little support at this point. And I'm sure they're saying his name a lot to get him over here. But the Genoese crossbow and the ballistas, this is before we look at whatever Lucky's going to end up making, which might not be an awful lot. It's enough to push ACCM in. And now that the castle's down, everything dies. Because the Genoese and the ballistas can actually continue to move forward. Maybe we'll see a big army from Bad Boy soon. He's going to go for Arbs. A lot of his army still has to be over here. I just kind of waiting. Like, Lucho is now the guy who needs to finish off the game for Argentina. You just need that big, massive ballistas. And the game is yours. It's going to be Hal Boninger. Maybe some bombard cannons for Lucky on this side. But they haven't really needed Lucky, right? They haven't needed him because Lucho and Nikov have done such a good job over here. Nikov might end up losing this castle. If Nikov loses the castle, I'm going to give Vietnam a much bigger chance than I was moments ago. Because just the lack of Genoese crossbow will be an issue because Paladins will actually be strong again. But they need to clear this up now. There's some bombard cannons. They clear it up now, and then maybe ACCM could get this gold back and get this stone back. But I think as Lucho... dude, I like panic so much when I see resources sent now. It's unbelievable. I just flinched. completely fine. Everyone's an imp. You can pass along resources. And 30 Ballista Elephants now for Lucho. And the Ballista Elephants will end the game. You can't kill this many Ballistas. You just can't. This army here, to kill this, you would probably need some siege. It's such a good unit. And Argentina win 3-2. What in the world? Vietnam had this series. I really can't remember another moment like this. Come on, Capture Age. But yeah, Vietnam, like, they had won that game, even had they not broken the rule in game number 4. And I'm going to restate my feeling on it. I think that it's very clear admin decision. I don't think there should be any dispute on it. Anyone who says it's a bad rule, you've never played a tournament before, honestly. It's a big thing, Sling, every time there's a team game tournament, and everyone knows the rules, and they're there for good reason. I agree it's very disappointing. It's very disappointing because Vietnam, it felt like they didn't need to sling what they did in game 4 and thus, get the admins involved because they broke the rule, but it happened. So, Argentina move on. Argentina will be playing in the semifinals tomorrow. And Vietnam are left to lick their wounds and hopefully get over that next time there's a team game tournament coming around. Great game from Lucky. Great game from Nikov. The whole design there from Nikov was to keep the Turks back. I think they accomplished that. And then what I wasn't expecting was for Nikov to just castle drop ACCM. That was crazy. Because ACCM was like, it was actually the perfect time because ACCM started to sling, figuring he had the time, and then he got castle dropped on the face. So, holy crap. And yeah, also, the slinging rule, like, guys, the slinging rule is way more flexible in this tournament than most team game tournaments. A lot of team game tournaments, you're not even allowed to send resources to someone in the same age, right? So to act like, oh, it's a stupid rule, you should be able to do what the game allows. Trust me, tournaments have just been straight up ruined and become a massive sling fest in the past. They wanted to avoid that. I think the rules were actually pretty good because it like allows some level of slinging, some areas where you could do it, but it didn't happen every game. So, yeah, it was probably just some muscle memory, and they just forgot. And, yeah, things turned around pretty quick. But congratulations to Argentina. I was crazy. That was crazy. The Tarsus says no sling at all is clearer than some sling, though. But, yeah, rules have to apply to anyone. Yeah, I agree. But, like, it's not ideal. Like, Argentina, obviously, they're happy they won. But no one wants to win this way. But what you also don't want is you don't want to lose to someone immediately benefiting from something that's not allowed, right? And what happened, and I feel bad that I missed the first instance of it when it happened at game 4, but obviously we've gone back and reviewed it now. But like, what happened with game 4 was Bad Boy dropped the whole castle because he received the stone, right? So that to me is wild. There's going to be some people who say, well, maybe the admin should have had him replay it. Maybe this, that, and the other. But I think it's very clear Vietnam had the game won without breaking the rule. They had the game won without breaking the rule. They didn't even need it. So that's crazy to me. So what we now know, as Liquipedia has been updated, and the series is actually finished now, unless, should I double check to see if there's any admin decisions there? I don't think so. It'll be France-Argentina rematch in the semifinals. So that is tomorrow. France-Argentina, best of 7. And then we've got Brazil-China, best of 7. I mean, all these teams are stacked, dude. All these teams are so good. Feels bad for Vietnam. But I even if they won 3-1, it didn't feel like they were miles beyond Argentina today. Argentina won game number 3 that could have gone either way. Or sorry, Vietnam won game number 3 that could have gone either way.